Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of The Company of the Grey Wolf. Episode 13, How to Kill a Witch in 3 Easy Steps. Step 4, Killing a Witch is never easy. When last we left our heroes, they had finally reunited, all 6 of them, only to be plunged into a supernatural magic darkness that even those with dark vision can't see through. At the behest of a Yuan-ti mummy, a giant snake, part man, part snake abomination, but with mummy powers. What's gonna happen to them? I don't know. It could be a TPK, but we'll find out that in just a moment. First, I gotta talk about some stuff. Of course, next to me are six brilliantly beautiful. Apparently, that's a tongue twister. Brilliantly beautiful individuals. Of course, they're not actually next to me. Normally, most of us stream out of the same room with a couple people being remote. But because of COVID-19, we are doing the responsible thing and practicing social distancing. You should all do the same. We're leading the way and being, responsible role models for y'all. So joining with me at the virtual table is Zaid, Rebecca, Anita, Justin, Nick, and Colin. And if you want to interact with all those people outside of our streams, we'll tell you how to do that at the end of the session. But I'm sure Anita will drop a link to that thing periodically. You all know what it is. You're all regular viewers. Nobody's tuning in tonight for the first time ever, maybe.
And if you are, welcome.
If you are, welcome. And if you are, you've got some catching up to do. You're probably going to be confused, but you're still going to be entertained. Speaking of catching up, you can do so by going to our YouTube channel. It has the same name as our Twitch channel, at Joshua Barbo, or YouTube/Joshua Barbo. All of the past episodes up to episode 10 are on there, and the most recent episodes are still available on Twitch. If you are tuning into us live on Twitch, thank you for being here. We love to perform in front of a live audience. And if you'd be so kind as to support us on Twitch, now would be a great time because we're all struggling as a result of COVID-19. The best way to support us probably is through subscribing to Twitch, and you get benefits for doing so. If you are subscribed to Twitch, if you are subscribed to us through Twitch, you can influence the game in a variety of ways. After each session, as a subscriber, you get to vote on who the MVP of that session was, and that person gets bonus experience and starts with inspiration the session after. Did we have an MVP since last week? I haven't checked, I'll be honest.
It was Rin, actually.
Rin.
But yes, Nick Rising just subscribed to our channel. Thank you very much, Nick Rising.
Thank you very much, Nick Rising, for subscribing. Rin
join
was
our
our MVP?
Rin was our MVP, according to Floppy Jalopy, the only person that voted.
The only
She's
person
the one
that voted.
that would know.
Perfect.
Hey.
Rin, I owe you inspiration and some experience. I'll take care of that in a second. The other benefits that you get for being a subscriber, depending on what tier you're at, is you can influence the game in a couple different ways. You can influence NPCs and make decisions for NPCs and decide what they're going to do. You can influence villains and even create your own villains to send after the heroes. Maybe you want to test them. Maybe you want to see them all get hurt real bad, and you want to make that happen by creating a devilish NPC, a devilish villain. This Yuan-ti mummy that they're about to fight is not an NPC that was created by our subscribers, but it could have been. It's a thing that could have happened if you were subscribed at the right tier. And then you can also influence the background plots that are shaping the world around them. So that's definitely something worth considering. You do need to be a member of our Discord in addition to subscribing to Twitch to get these benefits, so definitely go on over there and join our Discord as well.
Link is in the chat.
Furthermore, if you want to catch up but don't want to watch a bunch of 3-hour-long videos, in the Discord we have fully written out recaps written by the lovely Rebecca, as you see on top of the screen this time, because, you know, we're all remote and I can put people in different places than I usually do. Just to mix up just to play musical chairs. So she wrote some awesome recaps. Most of them are pretty short. Some of them are really long, but that's because, you know, some of the episodes have a lot of content for only being 3 hours each. They have the same length of time. Sometimes the recaps are this long, and sometimes the recaps are this long. It depends what happens in that episode. What else? If you like the art that we're using for our character arts, all of the character art was commissioned by the beautiful Thickest Bay, the thickest of bays. You can find her.
Thick.
She's so thick. You can find her on Twitter at thickest_bay. You all should go give her a follow right away. Tell her we sent you and that you love her stuff, especially the stuff she did for the Company of the Grey Wolf. Then maybe she'll do more in the future. Last but not least, if you like the games that I am running, you can get in on one of your own. The best way, you can actually hire me as a private dungeon master to come and run whatever game you want to run through my company, DM On Demand. You go to my website, dmondemand.ca, you click the contact form, and you send me a description of the type of game you want to play and how many players are going to be in it. I give you a custom quote based on your specific campaign's requirements, and we set up a time with which to do this. If you are normally, if you are in my area, I will show up in person. But right now, with COVID, I'm only doing online sessions. But that's okay, because I can do online sessions anywhere in the world, so there's no restrictions. Normally I give custom quotes based on your individual needs, but right now, because of COVID, I'm giving a super duper discount on everything I do. I am running D&D sessions for as low as $10 per player, regardless of what you need done in that campaign. Normally it's like if you want all the bells and whistles, like extra, like playing with miniatures on a battle map, or getting player handouts, normally I charge extra for that kind of stuff. But right now I'm not. Right now I'm just doing a flat $10 per player per game, and that's you know, a nice way to entertain yourself during this worldwide quarantine. So without further ado, we got a mummy to fight.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh,
Goodness.
a Yuan-ti mummy in the darkness. Oh, and one of you did get separated. The door was shut with Ondar the Bard outside. I do have an action cam ready to go, but you're all in the dark, so I don't know if I should even bother showing it.
Are both of our lights gone?
Yes.
Oh.
And even those with dark vision can't see.
Oh.
On dark.
My light never goes out. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then, good thing.
Whenever I
no,
can do
bad
something,
thing.
let me know.
I know, I was saying it nervously.
Yeah. Nick, did you have a source of light all on your own, or were you relying on somebody else's light?
At the time, I was relying on someone else's, but I do have a torch at my belt, so I would just pull it out and prestidigitate it on as soon as I'm able.
Okay. That will obviously be on your first turn. On second thought, I will flip the action screensaver on just so our beautiful viewers can see what's going on, but y'all can't see what's going on. So you're just gonna have to deal with that. Does the Dron's hair still glow? Yes, it does still glow, but the magical darkness that they are submersed in is covering that glow, as if someone shrouded it with a cloak that can't be taken off. Yeah. And yeah, so where were we? Roll initiative.
Roll?
Yeah. Roll initiative. Roll initiative.
Oof.
All y'all's roll initiative.
So I just assumed that I've still got like all my spell slots in full health because I haven't been told otherwise, right?
Right. You and I were supposed to have a chat about that, but I've been super busy this week and I never got back to you. Correct. Let's see. What am I going to do to you?
Oh
Live.
Give me 1 second while I look this up. Okay. Here,
You have access to my character sheet, right? You can just do it yourself.
Yes, I
And
do.
then we'll all discover it together.
Yes, I do. I am gonna go and do that while y'all roll initiative. And
Got mine.
okay, let's do initiative first, and I'll adjust your HP when I get a chance, Adron. To do Adron's HP and Rin's XP.
Woo!
I'm at a 7.
Your odd is at a 7. Hang on a second. Odd 7. All right. Who else got 7?
Nope.
Nobody.
I mean, I got lower. Is that what you're asking?
Let's go one number at a time.
Give me a second.
I literally cannot have an initiative of 7.
I swear I am prepared for all of this.
You're fine.
It's all good.
All right. So, what did Rin roll?
I have a 19.
Did you? Rin rolled.
Josh is getting in on it.
A 19.
Your player will remember this.
And Rin, your bonus is ridiculously through the roof. You get a little. Rin hears a little raven caw that nobody else hears whenever danger is near, which gives him a bonus to initiative. So I'm gonna put 19
Can't help
plus
it.
because you tied with someone, but you have a higher initiative bonus.
You're waiting.
Did anyone else get 19?
Nope.
Cool. What did Celadine get?
A 4.
4.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
Uh-huh.
Super duper.
Off to a
Back
great
up.
start, everybody.
Back up, back up.
You know, I
You know
like it
what?
when we tie.
You know what? A healer getting low on the initiative is actually pretty good, usually, because it means that in the first round, everyone gets a chance to be hit before you have to cast your healing spells. Whereas if you went first, you wouldn't be able to heal them before they or after they get hit.
Yeah, when the healer has spell slots, it's cool.
Yeah, we've got tons of those.
Mm.
Celadine, what did
We're all gonna die.
Adron? What did Adron roll?
Also a 4.
Who has the
Oh.
higher bonus?
Not me.
I got a +1 to Dex.
0.
So Adron is gonna go above Celadine. And what did Ondar roll?
11.
11. Nice.
Right in the middle.
I roll a 10. Neutral bland.
Neutral bland.
Okay, so we got Rin, Ondar, Odd, Edron, Celadine, Günther.
14.
14. Nice job.
Too bad.
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a
We're
12.
off to a great start, everybody.
Yeah.
And by my count, that's everybody. Did I get
Get
everybody?
those
Yes, I
rolls
got
out of the
everybody.
way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Initiative rolls out of the way. So you've been plunged in magical darkness. None of you can see. Rin, you're up first, and you are no stranger to darkness. In fact, some of the trading rituals that the unkindness had to, or the unkind, is it the unkindness or the unkind?
It's the unkindness, but each individual is called an unkind.
Got it. So some of the training rituals that the unkindness are forced to undergo is fighting in complete darkness. So you aren't unaccustomed to it, though that doesn't make you immune to the disadvantages it provides. What do you do? You had a second to glimpse the creature that slammed the door shut right before the darkness was plunged. So you relatively know where he is, but you'd be moving in complete darkness to get to him.
I am going to choose to.
You also have a treasure chest right in front of you that you could try to kick open, but you can't really see what's in it right now.
Right. Yeah. So that wouldn't do. How? What he's going to do is he's going to move just a little bit closer to where he believes the party was. He's just going to try and recall where they were standing.
Sure.
A few steps.
Without too much difficulty and a few steps, he can walk and bump into the sarcophagus, knowing that at least 3 of his friends are nearby.
Okay. Then he's going to try and stand in front of them and fight defensively.
He's going to put himself between them and where he thinks the monster is.
Yep.
And fight defensively. So he's going to use the dodge action?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So that's your turn. Then it's the mummy's turn. Then it's the mummy's turn. The mummy is going to attack Rin. And because Rin can't see the mummy gets advantage on his attack rolls.
As I'm fighting defensively, does he get the straight roll?
Sorry?
Since I'm fighting defensively, does he get a straight roll?
So fighting defensively gives you a +2 to your AC, but it doesn't give him disadvantage. It just increases your AC.
Oh, my bad. I thought that gave disadvantage.
Dodge action is disadvantage, I think, right?
The dodge. Oh yeah, No, the dodge action increases your AC. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought dodge was. That's all right. I'll rock.
You know
with
what?
It
I have D&D Beyond, a wonderful resource that remembers all of this stuff, so I don't have to. When you take the dodge action, you focus entirely on avoiding attacks. Until the start of your next turn, any attack against you has disadvantage. You are right. I was thinking of cover, which gives +2 to AC. So disadvantage means that it cancels out his advantage. He has a regular straight roll. He's going to attack you. He's going to fascinating. So mummies have a power called dreadful glare, in which they glare at you and bad things happen. They need to be able to see you, but interestingly enough, you as the target don't even need to see the thing glaring at you to be affected by the glare.
Okay.
So he's going to use his dreadful glare. He's going to glare at Rin.
Okay.
And even though Rin can't see that he's being glared at by the mummy, he can feel it in his soul. It feels like someone just walked over your grave. A sensation that you probably also would be accustomed to, being from the Shadowfell. You need to make a wisdom saving throw. And you don't have disadvantage on the save, just because you can't see him.
19.
19. So you resist.
15 plus 4.
Wise as all hell.
You feel the mummy walk over your grave, and then you steel yourself and say, or you think to yourself, I'm not going to tell you what you say, but you think to yourself, undead, you're no stranger to undead, and their dreadful glares mean little to someone who comes from the Shadowfell. You are now immune from the dreadful glare for the next 24 hours. Succeeding on your save against it makes you immune for 24 hours. Anyway, and then it's going to attack you with its melee attack.
Okay.
Because it can do both. He rolls a 22 to hit. I
That'll
believe
hit.
that hits. So you feel him smack against you with his rotting fists. You take 10 bludgeoning damage with
Okay.
his supernatural
Oh.
strength, and 10 necrotic damage.
Oh,
Rin is dead.
out.
Rin
As
is
in
down.
unconscious.
Rin is unconscious.
Just checking, Josh. That was a flat roll and not with advantage, right?
That was a flat roll and not with advantage, yes. 10 bludgeoning and 10 necrotic damage. You must also succeed on a constitution saving throw against
Okay.
the mummy's curse.
All right. That is a 7.
A 7. Wow.
Ooh.
So you are affected by the mummy's curse. That means you can't regain hit points until the curse is removed.
Yep.
And your hit point maximum is reduced by 10. So what's your standard hit point maximum?
I can't see it right now because it has to fail your success, but I think it's like 31.
Okay, so whatever it is, it's reduced by 10. But you aren't immediately turned to dust because that only happens if your maximum hit points are reduced to 0.
He is just going to say, Günther, get them. And
You all can't see Rin, but you
Wow.
hear his last words as life is sucked from his body, and
Gunther, get the what? Gunther, get
and
the
then
what?
and then you hear a thump, the familiar sound of a body hitting stone.
No.
That is the mummy's turn. And now it's Gunther's
Oh
turn.
my God.
And Günther, if you want to stall and entertain our viewers for a second while I go and do some homework, please do.
Sure. So, how's everybody dealing with quarantine? We're all going a little nuts over here.
I'm just dealing with the last 30 seconds. Uh, you know.
It's okay. He said he's not Rin anymore. He's calling himself something else. So at least Rin's not dead.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Rin's totally fine wherever he is.
Yeah, Rin's somewhere
Maybe
else.
I
He's
just-
fine.
It'll work.
What?
Colin,
I said maybe I tell the knock knock joke and it works.
Ugh.
Colin, I'm
Yes.
about to do some damage to you based on what happened to you before you were shoved rudely into a coffin.
Okay.
You said, I don't know what my health is at, and I don't know how many spell slots I've used. I'll tell you this, just to make it nice and simple. If you want to spend spell slots right now, just retroactively, assuming you had spent them previously, every level of spell slot you spend will reduce the damage by 5 points. So how many, without telling you how much damage you're about to take, how many spell slots do you want to use?
I probably would have been using some of my first level spells. Based on what I know happened, I'm gonna say 2 of my
So
first
you
level
use
spells.
2
should be
first
gone.
level spells. I've just checked them off for you, and
Thank you.
because I'm on your sheet, and now I'm gonna do some damage to you. Gunther, you can keep talking now.
Cool. So I guess while Josh is doing that, let's quickly. I know we did this for ourselves, but just for the sake of the viewers, we walked into this room. We started looking at some hieroglyphics. There was some information on the wall about the former chief of this tribe. There were 3 chests along the walls and then some urns. Any other information that someone watching would need?
The urns contained guardians,
According to what it said on the walls.
according
that
to
is-
what the.
That is what the walls said. Yes.
And Dron was inside the sarcophagus banging on it going.
Yeah,
Yeah, we popped. I think Celadine and I popped open.
we did.
the sarcophagus, and then Edron came out and said, "Go, go, 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 go mummy."
Yep. Completely accurate. Oh.
And then the mummy showed up, and then everything went dark?
The mummy showed up, he slammed the door, and then everything went
Okay.
dark.
Right. And it's not just dark because the door closed, it's dark because...
Correct. All of your light sources went out, even the ones that aren't supposed to.
Okay. Well, tell me this, DM. While we were looking at the hieroglyphics and stuff, we saw a general tale of there was a chief among this tribe. Was there anything in there about what this dude's name was?
Curiously, no.
Okay. Well then, I am just going to assume they use the same honorifics here as what they use back home, and I will say to him in a language that hopefully he still understands, Broodfather, do not waste your time with this meat. Above you, a vile hag defiles the holiest parts of your temple. Destroy this monstrosity and restore the sanctity of this place, and return to the loving embrace of the mother serpent, so you may rise with her in the next age.
Do you want to say this and await a response of some kind? Or do you want to just say this and continue with your turn?
Sure. If it's okay, I will say that while I am feeling around blindly inside the sarcophagus that we just opened to see if there's fucking anything in there.
There's a drawn in there, otherwise it is empty.
Anything important?
Well, you take your massive hand, because you're still enlarged. You take your massive hand and you reach around inside the sarcophagus, and as you're reaching around in the dark, you grab something that feels like you're grabbing a snake, and then you realize it's just a drawn.
Right. So a drawn gets a giant reach around.
If you want to search the sarcophagus in more detail, you probably would A, need a source of light, and B, not have a body in the way.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I will start, at least, I will try to give Edron some leverage, assuming he wants to get out of there, and
okay.
We'll wait to see if that connected with any part of this mummy's brain.
Cool. Ondar, it is your turn. The last thing you saw was a snake, a Yuan-ti mummy, a snake person mummy, not snake, somewhat similar, I guess, to Günther when he transforms, but also different in its own ways. You see a snake person mummy appear and slam the door shut, and then you hear shouting, but muffled shouting because it's through a stone door.
Yes.
What do you do? I believe your first action is going to be to provide a source of light.
That's right. Pull out a torch, right off my head. I'll use prestidigitation as my action to light it instantly.
Okay.
Does it shine?
It does.
Good. What do I see?
Well, you're in the hallway that you were still in. The door is slammed shut, and the hallway curves around back the way you came. There's hieroglyphics on the wall, but you don't understand.
Okay. But
Basically the same stuff you saw before you went up to the door.
Okay. Well, that'll be most of my action because I don't have anything else after having lit that torch.
All right. Odd. You are the closest to this thing when the darkness fell. In theory, assuming it didn't move, you're still right next to it, but you don't know for sure. What do you do?
I also heard that sound that Ren made.
Yes, you did. Very much
And
so.
I've heard it once before.
Uh-huh. Albeit last time he fell into the dirt, this time he fell to stone, but...
I still know the sound that he makes.
Yes.
When that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mr. Dungeon Master.
Yes?
Would I be able to roll my wild magic chart again?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Though, if you used Tides of Chaos,
I have,
On it.
actually.
you have used it since.
I previously used it. I used Tides of Chaos and I used my inspiration.
Okay.
So I currently
I
have
forgot
that
about that. I have a little sticky note that says no Tides of Chaos active, but I guess I made a mistake there. You have actually. You know what? Per the rules of Tides of Chaos, I can make you roll on the chart anytime after that, or is only
Anytime after
you...
I cast a spell of first level or higher.
Okay. Well then, if you cast a spell of first level or higher, I will make you roll.
Okay. I'm right next to this thing,
Sure are.
and Rin just fell.
Sure did.
Okay. Then, yeah, I am going to cast a Chaos Bolt right in its face.
Okay.
That's a first level spell.
Yep. And you're the disadvantage you get for casting a ranged spell into melee doesn't much matter because you have disadvantage anyway because it's you
Pitch
can't
black.
see.
Okay.
And disadvantage doesn't stack with itself, so you're good there. You're not the darkness isn't any worse than you already would be.
Okay. That is a 16. The other one was a natural 20, but disadvantage being what it is.
No.
16 to hit will hit.
Okay. So Tides of Chaos, or do you want to activate Tides of Chaos, or do you?
Yeah,
want
I'll
me
activate it.
Okay.
You do the damage of your spell first, and then you roll Tides of Chaos, right?
Yep.
Or is it the other way around?
I just rolled it anyways. Don't think it did anything, but we'll do Chaos Bolt,
Mm-hmm.
which let me just look at my spells real quick. I'm trying to figure out what that does.
And just so you know, I've taken care of adding Rin's Inspiration, Rin's Extra XP, and all of your XP that I didn't add from last session.
So 2d8 and 1d6.
The 1 week where I didn't constantly have Zayd bugging me. So have you done XP yet? Have you done XP yet? Have you done XP yet? That's the week I, of course, forget.
Our die is.
So what have I learned?
I'm basically teaching you to pester me, apparently.
That is 9, 12 points of fire damage.
12 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The flame erupts, and even though you can't see it in this magical darkness, you hear the mummy shriek in pain as its funeral wrappings burst alight with extremely flammable proclivity.
Okay.
Again, you can't see it, but you can hear it burning.
And I rolled a 31 on my wild magic table.
Okay. I don't have that table right in front of me. Do you happen to know what that does?
My D&D Beyond just crashed, so give me a sec. Stand by.
Well, all right. We'll see who gets to it faster then.
Actually,
D&D Beyond is a great resource. We are not sponsored by D&D Beyond, though we would like to be. If D&D Beyond happens to be looking for any additional streams it would like to sponsor, we would be super happy to keep promoting them the way that we already do, in exchange for, maybe not having to pay the full subscription fee every time.
It's a really good app, and I use
It is,
it
and
a
it's
lot.
constantly getting better. They have the beta out right now for the player. Like right now, you have to go to the through a browser to get to your character sheet. They've got an app coming where you will be able
good.
to access it all through an app.
That's cool.
31, you said?
31, yes.
Oh boy. Well, none of you see what happens to Odd, but Odd is transported to the Astral Plane until the end of her next turn, after which time she's going to return to a space she previously occupied.
Does she see Rin's soul leaving his body?
I probably would.
You are in the Astral Plane. For the sake of simplicity and because I don't want to bother looking things up, I'm going to say nothing special happens to you while you're there. But for those of you that don't know, Astral Plane is a plane of the mind. It's a fluid space. It's stuff. Go to D&D Beyond and look up Astral Plane, and you'll see all about it.
She's in her own head. She must hate it.
I'm a cop out like that. Edron, you are still sitting in the coffin, which I'm counting as
Yes, I am.
effectively prone. It'll use half your movement to climb out of the coffin.
That's fair. Now, here's a question. How big is this room?
It is, it's 50 feet by 60 feet. Or did you mean how tall is it?
No, like I was wondering how far away this this mummy probably is from me.
No more than 10 feet.
No more than 10
like
feet.
5 feet. A 5 foot square is between you and it.
Okay. Great. So I'm gonna use my movement to like get out of the coffin, but I'm not going too far.
You
Because
wanna
I'm going
step
to
over
use
Rin's dead body?
step over Rin's dead body.
Well, you stub since you can't see, you stub your toe on Rin's dead body.
I don't know that there's a dead body there.
Well, now you do. You've just stubbed your toe on it. Maybe you stepped on him as you were climbing out of the.
So that's an automatic fail death save.
No, I'm not counting it as an automatic fail death save.
Come on.
Edron's not heavy enough to do any damage by stepping on you.
There's a mouse on my head.
I'm gonna use a quickened spell to, well, first, as my action, I'm gonna activate my necrotic shroud.
Okay.
So
you know what? Your friends can't see this, but tell the audience what they would see if they weren't submerged in magical darkness.
what they would see is that my eyes would become almost like this sounds weird, but a glowing black. My hair looks like it's almost like on fire with darkness, and I am surrounded by a dark shadow and skeletal wings, ethereal skeletal wings appear out of my back.
Nice.
And everyone within a 10-foot radius needs to do a charisma save.
Everyone. Okay.
Everyone. Or they are frightened of me.
Okay. Fun fact. The mummy is immune to the frightened condition.
And I
didn't
do
know
believe everybody has to be able to see you.
No, it doesn't say that, unfortunately.
Oh, snap.
Natural 20.
Well, you're not in the 10
Natural
feet,
20.
you're in the ethereal plane.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. Yay.
Great time to burn that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, keeping that die.
well, I didn't know he was immune to
No, you
being
didn't.
frightened.
But I'll do you a favor and tell you that you get the sense as you feel your aura move over the creatures in the room, potentially making them fearful. You don't feel it pass over the mummy.
Okay. Well, the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a couple of sorcery points to cast the mage armor, magic armor, the magical armor one.
Sure.
Mage armor. That's the
Mage
one.
armor.
Magician's armor. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Magician's armor.
So I've cast that on myself,
Okay. And is that your
and that's
turn?
all my actions.
All right, Celadine. You're plunged in magical darkness. You know Rin has dropped, and there's a mummy out there.
And did you make your charisma saving throw?
I'm too far away?
No, you're not.
I'm not too far away?
What's the radius, Adron?
10 feet.
10 feet. You are within 10 feet, Celadine. You were one of the two people that was helping him out of the only person who's not within 10 feet.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I've got to say is
Odd.
Ondar.
And odd.
And odd. Right.
I have ascended.
11. You're
yeah.
scared of me. I'm sorry.
Cool.
So that
Okay.
means you can't get closer to the source of your fear. I'll
Or-
say you feel a supernatural fear.
What?
A dreadful supernatural fear. I won't tell you. I'll say maybe Celadine doesn't know what the source of the fear is, especially because you can't see. You don't know that this is coming from Edron necessarily, but you feel a supernatural sense of fear, and you're unwilling to go a certain direction.
That also
You mean
means
the direction that-
close enough to stabilize Rin.
Rin is in.
That is correct.
Awesome.
Do you have a ranged healing spell?
No. Well, yes, but it's the last one.
And it's just for Rin, yeah.
And he can't recover hit points anyways because of the curse.
Correct, he can't recover hit points anyways, but if she
Oh,
decided to use her
hold
healing
on a
spell
second.
on him, I would say
She
that it at
doesn't
least
know that.
stabilizes him. And she
I-
doesn't know that.
Oh, duh.
But yeah,
Just give him like an adrenaline shot, like in Pulp Fiction.
but like I said, she she doesn't know that. B, even though he can't regain hit points, if she used the spell, I would say it at least stabilizes him, because that's fair.
Okay.
But
Because I was gonna do spare the dying, but I can't get there.
spare the dying
so-
is touch only, right?
Yes. So she. It's dark, but like the fight with Rin, she had the sparks. Her eyes turn yellow.
Does she need to see someone to cast healing word on him? No, the person just needs to hear the word, right?
Healing word.
No.
It just has to. She doesn't know anything, man.
I
Uh,
don't think.
Creature of your choice you can see.
Oh,
No, aced it.
Is
it's
it
a
healing
creature
word
of
that
your choice you can see. Then
Yeah.
I guess you can't
no.
even cast
Healing
healing
word
word.
you have to see?
Apparently, healing word you have to see.
Okay.
Because you have to see them and then you have to tell them.
Huh.
And cure wounds is
Interestingly, they don't have
touch.
to be able to hear you.
That's weird. Oh, she is
Healing
so
sign
pissed.
language.
Okay, this is just because everything just got thrown for a loop and a half.
Mhm. That's what happens against monsters sometimes.
Yeah. She is going. Oh my god. Can she sense the water inside everybody that's around? Can she feel where everyone is?
She sure can if she uses her action to cast whatever your water cantrip is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
That's
want to use
happening.
your action for that, then I will allow you to. What's your water cantrip called again?
It's shape water.
Shape water. So if you cast shape water and you reach out with your supernatural senses, you sense the water through flowing through the blood of all of your allies. Except curiously enough, well, you don't sense Ondar. You don't sense Odd. And you do sense Rin on the floor, but he his
heart's not
his
beating.
heart's not beating. So he's the water is moving very still, very slowly.
She is going
He's in
to.
trouble.
Whether the magic makes it dark, that's fine, but the amount of lightning that emanates off of her entire body would flare if it were normal.
Correct.
And
Nobody can see it, but you can
No.
feel it.
but she is just going to absolutely rage and scream out, and just hold her position.
Okay. That is her turn. And that's when
Oh, I'm so pissed. Oh.
Yeah. I bet you are. So that's when those of you that are in the room hear an echoing shriek through the room. It sounds like it's come from all directions, and it sounds, in fact, like multiple echoing shrieks superimposed on top of each other. I'm not going to try to do that because I don't want to burst everyone's eardrums. But there's a rush of wind, and then you hear as what sounds like 4 clay pots being broken. Günther, you're being attacked. Miss. Celadine, you're being attacked. What's your AC?
17.
Miss. Idron, you're being attacked. Hit.
Even with my mage armor?
What's your mage armor put you up to?
So, 14.
14? Yes. Just still
Okay.
hits.
Just making sure.
You take 13 necrotic damage. And last one. There's only 3 of you still standing in the room. I guess the last one's gonna go after Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Last one's gonna go after Günther. Another miss.
Well, I'm glad it was necrotic damage.
You're not too sure what's going on, but you feel these wispy, incorporeal claws just raking through your body. It feels both real and not real, as this chilled touch just pierces your soul. There's more than just the mummy in this room. Not that you can see it. But Rin, it's your turn, and I need you to make a death saving throw.
Oh. I love that I have this now.
Oh, you can just pick up your camera and move it. That's kind of cool.
No, oh, it was a 20. I swear to God, it was 20, and it just rolled when I moved the train.
I saw it. I did see it before it rolled.
It was
Holy
a 20.
God, move.
It was a
You nudged it with the camera as you were trying to point
No,
the
I was
camera?
pulling the dice tray and the dice roll, but it was a 20. I
It
swear to God.
was.
You were rather than move the camera, you were just pulling the dice. I see.
Well, I moved the camera here, but there's not enough light on it, so I was
Got
trying
it.
to move it into the light.
I believe you.
Okay.
It was 20, so that's a nat 20.
Yeah.
Rin, as the mummy's curse seeps through your soul, preventing you from recovery, you fall into a deep, dark coma where you feel the raven's embrace, and you think for a second, is this it? And then you hear another voice say, no. And you know what?
So
What the hell?
tired.
Against all odds, despite the curse preventing you from getting hit points, I will say you go up to 1 hit point because you rolled a natural 20 on a death saving throw.
Okay.
I'll say natural 20s on death saving throws overcome the mummy's curse, but otherwise nothing does.
Okay.
Especially when you're a monk of the Raven Queen.
Especially because he's a monk of the Raven Queen. Exactly. Some things you just gotta give it to them, guys. Might not say it in the books, but if you're a good DM, sometimes you just gotta give them the bone. You are back to 1 hit point, though you are still prone. Your eyes open,
Okay.
and though, and curiously enough, even though you're still in supernatural darkness, and even though you're still in supernatural darkness, and even though you should not be able to see anything, it's almost like the fact that you just had a very close brush with death, you can see purple, almost like dark light auras around all the shapes in this room. Your allies, your enemies, your dark vision seems to have connected with some supernatural power, allowing you to temporarily pierce, at least partially pierce, the dark, the magical darkness surrounding you. This is a boon granted to you by the Raven Queen, telling you to get back up and fight. You still can't see your surroundings. You can't see the room at all. You're still in the supernatural darkness, but you can effectively see where all of the creatures are located.
He is going to make his way over. He's going to use the spike chain to attack the mummy.
Sure. He's gonna get back up first. Using
Yep.
half of his movement.
Yep. And when he attacks, he's going to say, Günther, get them out.
Hey!
I just rolled again, I swear to God. I don't know what's happening.
The Raven Queen is with you.
I don't have enough ghost minis.
We heard it. We saw it. You did great, buddy.
Holy
There's
moly.
1. There's 2. I'm just gonna use dice to
Okay, I'm gonna
represent
move
them.
this over here now. make my life a little bit easier.
I'm just gonna use dice to represent them.
Alright, so I'll roll damage. D6.
Yeah, with a crit, so you're doubling the. You're rolling times 2 on all of the dice.
Okay, so 3, 6. So 12 damage.
12 damage. Cool.
Mhm.
12 magic damage. In case it matters.
Yep. And then he's going to use the bonus action to wrap the. He's gonna wrap the mummy. So the mummy will need to make a dexterity save. And then he's going to scream, "Leave my friends alone."
He called them his friends.
Aww.
The mummy, despite having a -1 in dex, rolled a 14. What's the DC?
It is. What is his DC?
I believe it's 14. If I'm not
I
mistaken.
believe it's 15, actually.
Oh, well, that last little point matters. What is it?
Because you're level 5, so your proficiency went up.
Yep.
Proficiency is +3. Your dex is what? Or it's
Okay, so it's DC 8 plus his proficiency, which is now 3, plus his dexterity modifier, which is 5.
So it's 16.
Oh, well, shit.
Wow. Okay, you have restrained the mummy. Is that the one you're going for?
Yeah, he is restraining the mummy.
Cool. And it restrains him for how long again?
Let's see.
What super bullshit did I give you in that?
It is until the grapple ends, target is restrained and can't grapple.
Until the grapple ends. So
also they get to make a, hold on. I think they get to make another roll on their turn.
if it follows the standard rules for grappling, then yeah, anyone who is grappled can use their action to attempt to break the grapple.
Yep. So until the grapple ends.
Yeah. Cool. Günther, you are being attacked by two things you can't see.
Sure. I will. If I can't see them, can I still disengage from them?
You sure can, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, you can still
disengaging looks
You
like.
can even still attack them. You just have disadvantage.
Okay. When we first walked into this room, I have some idea where the door was.
Yeah.
And is about, I don't know. I guess I will disengage and then make a beeline towards the door.
So, you can't really make a beeline towards the door because there are two enemies between you and the door, and you can't move through an enemy's space.
Okay. I guess I don't know that.
No, you don't know that. You can absolutely try, but as you're navigating through the room, there's a lot of stuff in the way, and you are still obnoxiously large. There's 2 enemies and 2 allies, and a sarcophagus more or less between you and the door. You're just kind of like squeezing through as best you can, fumbling around, bumping into people. It's a shit show for getting around. Excuse me, pardon me. Sorry. Hey, whoa.
Let me just squeeze right through you.
Squeeze right through. And you kind of get up to the door, but the mummy is actually standing right in front of the door, such that he's kind of blocking access to it. But you do, I'll say you do get up to the door.
Sure. Instead of the excuse me, pardon me stuff, what I'm actually saying is I'm getting kind of angry, and I'm going to raise my voice at the mummy and assume some part of it still remembers who he was, and remind him very vigorously that your promise was towards this temple, and Dendar does not take promises lightly, so get the fuck upstairs and cleanse it, or you will burn for eternity. And then I will start pounding on the door, saying, Ondar, get this fucking door open.
Okay. That's your turn. Ondar, it is now your turn.
Well, I would like to open the door, please. Is there a way to open the door?
You try to open the door. It does not open.
Is there a button, a latch, a secret thing I can push?
It's like Temple of Doom. I'm putting my hand in a hole, being like, put your hand here.
You can use your action to look for any sort of secret way to open the door if you'd like.
May I investigate the door?
Yeah,
Yes.
make an investigation check.
Love to hold the torch up, right up against it. That is a 16.
16, not bad. You thoroughly look around the. You thoroughly look throughout the room. Or not throughout the hall. You inspect the door. You inspect all the areas around the door. Everywhere you can think to look. But you do not find any sign that there is anything that can help open this door.
So I'll yell through as best I can, even though it's muffled. No luck out here so far.
Okay, great.
As near as you can tell, there's no way from the outside to open this door, short of some sort of knock spell.
Okay. But again, that's my action, so that's pretty much it. Once I'm finished, I'll just turn to face back down the hallway at least, so I can just kind of keep an eye out.
Odd. You are floating around in the astral plane. You've probably never been to the astral plane, but it is a plane of nothingness, a plane of pure thought. It's very difficult to describe the astral plane in words because there aren't any physical descriptors that would make sense in this place. It's not a real place in the sense that there isn't anything physically there, but you can still see this amorphous fluid-like environment that isn't real, and yet it's all you can occupy. As a plane of the mind, whatever you think you can sort of make happen. If you want to go somewhere, your spirit that is occupying the astral plane just does.
Also, time has no meaning here.
Also, time has no meaning here. It's just this ultimate limbo of place. I don't know if you want to do anything with your turn. I don't think there is anything you can do, but maybe you're more creative than I am. So, you tell me.
I'm gonna pop the wild magic potion and drink it. Time has no meaning here.
Okay. Wow. You pop the wild magic potion. You pull it out. You look at it. You spend half a second, which might as well be an eternity, thinking about it. And then you drink the potion.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Roll on the wild magic surge table.
Okay, I've got it open in front of me, so...
If you roll a 31 again, really bad stuff's going to happen.
No, not a 31. Okay, that is a 76. I glow with a bright light for a 30-foot radius for the next minute.
76, you glow with a bright light for the next minute.
With a
30-foot radius. And any creature within 5 feet of you is blinded. Not that there is a creature. You glow brightly.
Will be.
Fantastic.
My turn.
What's worse, your eyes glow even brighter, so bright that that you have trouble seeing through them, and you have to close them, and you're flooded with images of events that seem unconnected and don't make immediate sense to you because you're seeing them out of context. Are these memories? You're not sure, but they feel familiar somehow.
Shit.
And then you fall unconscious. And then you reappear right in Günther's strong arms.
Aw.
Big arms.
And she's glowing so brightly that I'll say in her square and all of the squares around her,
Any
the
creature that
magical
ends its
darkness is pushed back.
Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of you is blinded until the end of its next turn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Günther.
So the magical blindness is pushed back, but if you end your turn next to her, you'll be blinded. So it amounts to the same thing.
All right, at least this affects the bad guy. Like, we were already blind.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Idron,
This is a win.
it's your turn, and you can see again, thanks to the super glowing.
I can see again.
Super glowing odd that just reappeared out of nowhere.
Hey, that's my job.
That is your job. There is.
What color is she glowing?
It's a good question.
Rainbow
That's
colors.
true.
Rainbow
Oh,
Oh, wait, here we go. I got something for this.
I got something for this.
Woo!
Hey!
Do it!
Hold on, I had accounted for just this exact scenario.
The remote has everything.
That's brilliant. Günther.
Oh, God.
Literally brilliant.
There is some sort of wraith or specter right next to you. And of course, you can see the mummified Yuan-ti.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, the sudden shock of light, especially after being submerged in magical darkness, is hard on your eyes, and you know that if you end your turn next to her, you'll be blinded.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's my turn.
Sorry, I was talking to Günther. I should have been talking to Idron. What I just said applies to Idron as much as it applies to Günther.
Great. Could I get a description of what this mummified creature looks like, having taken a hit now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could have told you earlier. So it looks like a half man, half snake. It looks like it's got the upper body of a man, but from the waist down is just a large serpentine snake body. And then he's all covered in mummified, mummy wrappings.
But it is a body. We think, like, even after taking a hit, is there like flesh under there still, or is it just like bones?
There are it's mummified flesh. So
Okay.
if you've ever been to a museum and you've seen the preserved mummies that they have there, it's mummified flesh. He's ancient, but you know, the mummified remains preserve some flesh to the bones. It's not just bones.
Okay. Well. All right.
It's
so new plane.
it's like beef jerky flesh, you know, like it, but it's dried, mummified flesh. But there is some flesh there.
Okay. I'm going to, while I can see him, just take my quarterstaff and hit him as hard as I can.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I can see him right now.
You can see him right now,
And you should
what's
see
more,
that he's restrained as well too.
he's restrained also by you can see him. He's restrained by chains, so you would have advantage on an attack. And what's more, I don't know if you have the capabilities still to cast fire magic, but
No.
you heard him being wreathed in flames, and that seemed to hurt more than other things. So,
But what I am gonna do is because there's also a bunch of like wraiths around us.
you only see one, the one that's right next to you.
Okay, there's at
beyond
least
that,
a
there's-
wraith around me.
Correct.
I'm going to cast Word of Radiance.
Okay.
Which is a cantrip, and I just utter a word. This time, what's that word going to be? I'll just say "By Lathander," and I hope he's still looking out for me.
No sun reaches this chamber, but maybe Lathander can. Maybe Lathander can still see you.
And a burning radiance erupts from me. So
Does it affect all creatures within our radius? Or
yeah, Constitution save.
For even allies, or just
Creatures of my choice.
creatures of your choice within how much of a radius?
5 feet.
Okay, so that would affect both the mummy and the wraith-like creature.
Yes.
Cool. So Constitution save.
Constitution save.
The mummy rolls an 8.
That is a fail.
Sorry, that was an 11. I looked at that 6 upside down. It was a 9.
That's still a fail.
Cool. And the other creature also rolled a 9, but that means it's a 9 because he doesn't have a bonus.
Okay. So they each take.
It's hard to have any Constitution save bonuses when you don't have a physical body.
They each take. Just let me double check this because I don't cast this very often. Yeah. They each take. Don't add anything. 7 points of radiant damage.
Cool.
And I'm gonna use my movement to try and like make my way so I have my back to a wall. Hopefully the same wall, like aiming for the same wall that has that where the door is, so I can maybe like sneak out.
You would provoke an opportunity attack for leaving that square. You'd provoke 2 unless you're... Yeah, you'd provoke 2 for leaving that square. Still want to do it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, where do you say you're going again?
So I'm aiming to kind of toward the door, but like not for the where Günther is, like more for toward the wall. I know that this light is too bright for me. I'm trying to get out of the radiant.
You're like trying to get here on the other side of the Yuan.
Yeah, I'm not quite certain. Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna
so
say
that's
that.
only gonna provoke 1 opportunity attack from the specter thing.
Okay.
Alright. He hits you with a 17.
Yes, he does hit.
Cool. Previously I rolled this for you because I wanted to keep it a secret, but you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I have advantage on those.
Well, that's good. I didn't know that. You succeeded when I rolled it for you, but I didn't roll with advantage.
Oh, that's a 19.
Awesome.
Wait, it might just be advantage on my spell save, because I thought that was from Warcasting.
Oh yeah, Warcaster. That's just if you have to maintain concentration, then you have
Yes,
advantage.
Constitution saving throws. Constitution saving throws that are made to maintain concentration, you have advantage. Not all con saving throws.
Okay, I mean, I think I succeeded on both, depending. Even if it was assuming it was a disadvantage, it's Constitution.
Yeah, you have a +5 to con, so.
I have +2 to con. Well,
+5 to con saving throws.
Yeah, so my lower one would be a 17.
So you'd still succeed.
Okay.
So you just take 10 necrotic damage.
Necrotic, so I just take 5 necrotic damage.
Correct.
Nice.
Oh, really? Whoa, how much damage did I do to you last turn when I hit you with this thing?
You did 13, so I took 6.
Okay, you already halved it, sorry.
Yeah.
Good that you were on the ball, because I wasn't. And both, so you're not only taking half damage from these things, but both times you've succeeded on your save against the life drain effect. Yeah, you're like built to fight these things. Awesome.
Yeah, clearly.
Cool. That is your turn, and Celadine. Oh, sorry. I told you guys to be speedy, but I'm slowing things down. I'm taking forever to get to people. Celadine, you're in the dark, but grace to the magic of Odd's wild powers, you can see some of the room. You can see Odd being carried by Günther. You can see a wraith next to them, and you can see the mummified Yuan-ti being restrained currently. You cannot see anything else, including the creature that attacked you, including yourself. You can't see, but you can see that much.
Okay, so I
Also, Adron, does she get to reroll her saving throw against being frightened from you?
Oh, unless I forgot to say, as a bonus action, I drop it since it's not frightening the people I want to. So she's not
Got
frightened
it.
anymore.
So you're no longer frightened. Whatever was
Lovely.
scaring you before, you are no longer frightened by it.
okay, cool.
I thought
then-
it, but forgot to say it.
That's okay. Then I
Also, you can't see Rin, but you can assume that he's still standing and holding the other end of the chain that's wrapped
Well,
around the.
I can sense his heartbeat, right?
Yeah, and you heard him speak too.
Yes. So we're fine.
You don't
As
know
far as
how
I
he
can
got
tell.
back up because you didn't heal him, but he got
Mhm.
back up.
That's fine. So I will just shout to everyone, only attack one at a time, and I'm going to cast
Focus
Turn
fire.
Undead.
Turn undead. Awesome.
There we go.
Radius on that is 15 feet, correct?
Oh,
Or is it more than 15?
give me it. It's not on here, and that's funny.
I thought it was like 30.
I
Might
think
be
I want to say
30.
30.
It's either 15.
Sure.
Or 30.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me go to
because
one of
like
my
the
cards.
room is.
If it's 15 feet, there is one creature it won't affect. If it's 30, it affects everyone.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's look.
D&D Beyond is a great resource, and if you have a strong internet connection, you can navigate to things really quickly.
It all depends.
Here we
Turn
go.
undead. Okay.
Got
It is 30 feet of
30
you.
feet.
Wisdom saving throw DC 16. Wow. Okay. This is for the mummy and one of the wraith creatures. The mummy fails. The wraith fails. Other wraith creature. Wisdom save, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fails. Wraith number 3 fails. And wraith number 4. Everything fails. Wow.
What are they, us?
Yeah.
What are they, us? As an action, you present your holy symbol, which is emblazoned on your armor. Each undead that can see or hear you, doesn't have to see, can see or hear you, within 30 feet of you must make a whiz save. If they fail, they are turned for 1 minute. Turned is like a superior version of frightened. It's important that it's not frightened because most undead are immune to being frightened. But turned has a very similar effect. Or until they take any damage, which you learn the hard way that ends the turning.
So would Ren see this going down?
He wouldn't see, but he would know that that's what's going on.
They're all gonna start.
You heard
Okay.
you heard her shout, by the power of whatever of Umberly, you will be turned or something like that. He heard that, and he's seen her turning undead in action before.
Okay, can he say something real quick?
Sure.
Attack this one. I already have it at a disadvantage.
The others in theory will be moving away, which allows you to focus fire. If you all focus, whichever one you attack will no longer return. But if you focus fire on that one, the others might ignore you until for the rest of it's a minute, right? It lasts a minute, or until they take any damage. Cool. It can't move closer to you. It must move further away by its turn. And it can't take reactions. For its action, it has to use the dash action to try and escape. And I'm losing my die. No! Not that die has performed well at all. These guys should be slaughtering you.
Well, I died.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, they're not doing a bad job.
I mean, I'm unconscious, but that's my own fault.
That's your own fault. All right, so that was your action. Celadine is now the Spectre's turns. They have to dash away. They're going to run away.
Scatter.
And he's going to scatter. And they're going to provoke opportunity attacks doing so because they're not using the disengage action.
Not take that attack.
So
Do it.
Rin, what? While you are restraining a creature, you cannot attack someone else with that same, with that chain, right? So you can make a melee attack, unarmed attack, if you'd like.
Yeah, I would.
You can kick this thing as it's running away from you. Adron, you also get an opportunity attack against that same creature.
Wait. What creature is running away from me? Because the only creature that Ren wants anybody to attack is this wrapped up mummy.
He's not running away from you. He's restrained.
All right, then he's not attacking anybody.
Okay. Adron, you get an attack of opportunity against this specter. You can't see it moving away from you. He technically provokes one. You can't see it. You get disadvantage on attacking it, but you can make an attack.
Celadine did yell one at a time.
If I could see it, I probably would have attacked, but I can't see it, so I'm not gonna.
Can't see it. This
Because
doesn't
Adron-
provoke an opportunity attack. These things literally fly into the walls to get away from Celadine. This one's away from you, Celadine. I'm assuming you're not going to take an opportunity attack because you don't want to end the turning. Am I correct in that?
Sir, yes, you are.
Awesome, possum. And then last one, this one's running away. Provokes only from Günther. Günther, are you going to take an attack of opportunity against it?
Nah, same thing. I was about to, but I do hear Celadine's voice echoing.
And you remember this happening before with the undead owlbear. So these things all turn and fly straight into the walls and disappear from the room. They have to use their action moving as far from Celadine as possible, and not even solid walls stop them from doing so. So they can get pretty dang far in a minute. Yeah. And they take damage if they end their turn inside a solid object. That's good to know.
Wow.
That might end their turning. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, Rin, it is your turn.
Wata. He's just gonna keep wrapping up the chain as he moves closer to this mummy.
Sure.
Start beating the shit out of it. That's probably gonna miss. 16.
16 will hit.
Oh, hey. So that's gonna be 9 damage.
Okay.
Then bonus action for his other kung fu. Wata. That's gonna hit. That's 8 plus 12. 20.
Yeah. Damage?
No, that was 20 to hit.
Oh.
And that's another 9 damage, so 18 damage. And he's
Mr. Who needs weapons? I have my fists.
And he's just gonna say, "Everyone, finish this."
Cool. It is the mummy's turn.
Yep.
Oh, and Rin ended his turn within 5 feet of the odd. So
Of
odd.
Yep.
So Rin is blinded
Blind. Yep.
for 1 turn. It is the mummy's turn.
Okay. Oh shit! I should have taken those attacks at advantage. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's but yeah.
Always roll again to see if you get a nat 20.
Yeah.
I did not.
It's all right. You had 2 already.
Yeah, they were really good ones.
You're totally fine.
I wouldn't say that. I'm at 1 hit point, but
No.
you know.
20s.
Oh
You're
yeah,
not
yeah.
dead.
Oh, I'm still very much on the cusp of dying.
Yeah,
But you're not-
you're attacking with your fists and feet, right? Like, because
Yep.
you can't attack while
I can't attack with the spike chain while I'm
spike chain while
restrained.
you
But
have him
I'm
restrained.
imagining some headbutts.
You know, it's more like knees and elbows. He likes to use Muay Thai.
Got it. The
Bite his
mummy. The mummy is going to use its lair action to
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie is going to use its lair action to emit from his body a gaseous smoke of death.
Mhm.
From where he is standing, this will affect everyone but Celadine and Ondar. You will have to make a Constitution saving throw.
She brought me back for a good time. Not a long time.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, buddy.
Probably fine.
So that's 15 from me.
Günther, you can make this saving throw at advantage, actually.
Odd has to make 2, right?
What's that?
That is a.
Yeah, you must too as well, Anita. You don't have disadvantage for being unconscious, though.
But a Constitution saving throw?
Yep.
Nandar's okay.
Ondar's fine.
$25.
That is a 17.
Okay. Those of you who failed
Mm-hmm.
take 3 poison damage,
Mm-hmm.
and you are poisoned as per the condition.
What was the what do we have to get to succeed? I didn't hear that
You just
part.
have to know.
You just have to tell me what you rolled, and I tell you if you succeed.
I did. It was 15.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. 15, you said? Then you succeeded.
Yes. Oh, hey, great.
Those of you who failed take 3 poison damage and are poisoned until the end of your next turn.
The chain goes slack and Rin goes, "This was a good one. I died well."
No.
Dude.
Once again, he is dying. And then it's going to use its dreadful glare ability. This time on it can't. It has to move away. That's right. It is turned. No, it took damage, right? Yes, it's not turned. It's going to use its dreadful glare ability, this time on Celadine. Make a wisdom saving throw, Celadine. Oh, this is a
Oh,
bad
she's
idea. Using
the
it against
wise.
Celadine? That's a
At
bad.
least it's a wisdom. Okay.
Ah.
I should have used it on someone with poor wisdom.
13?
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh God.
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
But
I
you're-
got so
you're immune
scared.
now.
I got
It's
so
okay, you're-
scared. Oh.
You're immune now to it. Remember?
Yeah.
He's gonna provoke
I'm
an
just,
opportunity attack.
I'm just gonna blush like Günther
You're
said things
not
to
out of
me.
the woods yet. You're gonna make. He's gonna move up to Celadine and attack Celadine.
Okay.
Günther and Adron can make opportunity attacks against him.
This is against the mummy?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, heck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You don't have advantage on the attack roll.
Thank you.
It's a free action for me to get my weapon out, right?
It is not a free action. It's part of your free interaction with an object that you can do on your turn. You can't do it as
Cool.
part of your reaction to make an opportunity attack.
Then I guess I'm taking an unarmed attack.
But Adron, you actually have advantage on the attack because he can't see. No, he
Okay.
can't see you. Never mind. You don't have advantage. Forget it.
Okay.
Aw. Hit him for 1.
Was the mummy within 5 feet of me at the end of his turn?
No. It's still his turn. He's not done his turn.
No, fair.
Well, that's a 16 to hit.
Well, that hits.
For-
For 1 damage plus
for
your strength,
1
which is
damage.
still 1 damage.
Still 1 damage. Just kind of smack him on as he goes by.
And Günther?
Rolled a 10, so that's also a 16.
Awesome. Damage?
You hit how much damage?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I didn't.
Don't forget the extra die for your enlarge.
Thank you, Anita. For a treat. Ooh. Okay, so that is was it 11 magic slashing.
Y'all can do me a favor. If you're making an attack that has damage, which most attacks do, you can roll your damage with the attack roll, so that way you're ready to give it
Yep.
as soon as I tell you that it hits.
Gotcha.
Um,
Great advice.
Mm-hmm. So that is a lot of damage. You've hacked away at this monster quite a bit. Most of its mummified, most of its mummy wrappings are in tatters. A lot of its flesh has literally been ripped off, chopped off. It looks like it's barely holding itself together, but it is going to attack Celadine. Celadine, you can't see it because you're submerged in magical darkness, so he has advantage on the attack roll. Not within the area that is providing illumination by odd. He is going to critical hit you, which is bad news, bears, because that thing rolls a lot of damage.
Okay.
I am sorry in advance for the difficult situation that I'm about to put you all in.
Wow.
You might have to decide who to save and who to let go. All right, so we have here. I'm gonna roll it because I never take the average when it comes to a crit. It's a lot of dice. A lot of dice. Okay, here we go. First and foremost, you take 11 bludgeoning damage. Sorry, 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Sorry, 14 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Cool. That's the bludgeoning damage. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
That's a lot. 27 necrotic damage.
I'm totally out.
Yeah,
That
you
drops
might have
Saladin.
said $1 billion.
That's past my high.
That's past your what?
That's past my max. But I
Like,
was
that's
no, I mean
that's past
no,
your max.
No. It's just like even if I was at full HP, I would have been brought to 0.
Got it. But it's not brought to 0 and then your max. Okay.
No.
Well, he crit, and and he does a lot of damage when he doesn't crit. But I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and hopefully you roll high, because if you don't, you're in a really bad spot.
This is adorable. I'm choosing my metal one.
And if any of y'all have inspiration that you'd like to throw to her, now's a great time to do it.
Give her my inspiration, please.
Okay.
What does that
Ren,
mean?
It means you get to roll with advantage. I just took your inspiration off your sheet, Ren.
Well, would I have to have said to use it before I
No.
rolled?
Yeah, I'm letting you do it. You can roll with advantage. Because
Okay,
he said it before you rolled. So
What's the roll anyways? We'll see.
My first roll was a 19.
Okay.
Shit, I should have rolled for advantage when I did this.
So you're not rolling. You don't want to roll with advantage. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, the only thing that can beat that 19 is a 20, right? Like, you rolled a 19?
I rolled a 15 plus 4.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, I'm saying you're not rolling with advantage because it's too late.
Okay, fine.
I'm giving the inspiration back to Rin.
Okay.
You have to decide these things before you roll. So
Yeah.
Well,
I had already rolled.
We didn't know we could give her my inspiration, so that's.
I know that I was saying if you wanted it, you would have had to have rolled as soon as I say roll with advantage, instead of saying, well, my first roll was a 19.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never. Okay. Yeah. Then it is. That's what it is.
Okay. So it's a 19.
Okay.
A 19 is a success, so you don't have to worry about the mummy's curse. You are not cursed.
Okay.
He's cursed.
Yeah. We're distracted there. You are not cursed, but you are down and dying. Everyone else cannot see you, but they hear Saladin's death cry as she falls to the ground. Her chainmail, her scale mail, making quite the audible clang as it hits the stone. And that is the mummy's turn. Günther, you're up. You also can't see. No, you still can see because you haven't ended your turn within 5 feet of Odd yet. Odd just came back last turn, right?
But I do still benefit from her light being emitted.
You can see quite fine. Assuming if you end your turn next to her, then you'll be blinded.
Great. I will, but before that happens, I will whisper down to the elf in my arms and say, "Welcome back, Fraulein," as I snug her tighter into the nook between.
She's unconscious, but
yeah, that's why I don't want to drop or anything. So I'm just gonna snug her tighter. I'm assuming I'm large enough to just hold her like a baby.
Sure.
And I will, with my sword still out from having slashed this thing, will focus my eyes on it, even though he can't see me. I will focus my eyes on it and start walking towards it. I'm not going to rage, but I am getting pretty angry, and I'm going to say to this thing, "You've forsaken your temple, you've forsaken your pledge, you've forsaken Dendar." This is all in his language, nobody else can understand it. And I will say, "And therefore, you at this point are no more than Duthrael," which is just about the worst thing you can call one Yuan-ti, you can call another Yuan-ti, and say,
You're just so you know, you're standing right above his sarcophagus. You're not in it because you're too big to be in it, but you can literally straddle it and still be standing because of that's how big you are.
I'm just scarily walking to. I'm like for the comic book nerds out there. I'm like Cable with the little baby in his shoulder. Instead of a giant machine gun, I got a sword, and I'm just walking at this thing, telling it what an awful job it's done with its undeath. You've forsaken everything that was important to you. Your whole hope for anything was to be remembered, and there's nothing left. You've forsaken your pledge, you've forsaken your people, you've forsaken your temple, and all that's left is to cut you down like a Duthrael, which is an awful thing to call this thing. And if it's got any hindbrain left, that's gonna register as I reach out and slash it in the back of its head.
For the record, every time you've tried taunting this thing, you haven't seen any sort of recognition on its mummified.
What else am I going to do? Shut up?
No, I applaud your roleplay. I'm just letting you know that it's not having an impact, which in itself tells you something important about this creature.
I would tell a smarter player that. So I'm able to see it. I'm holding something in my arm. Am I at disadvantage because I'm holding an elf?
Not right now because you're large, so you can. Okay. I'm gonna say no because you are enlarged. Okay. You're attacking with your sword, which is a one-handed weapon. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna take a straight shot. That's a nat 18.
Mm-hmm.
And so 24 to hit. And sorry, you had told me a second ago to roll my damage. That's not bad. That's another 11 magic slashing damage to the back of the head.
And how do you want to do this?
I want to take the goddamn head right off. I want to slice right through the base of the brainstem, and I want that head off. And if luck has it fall on the ground so that it's looking back at me, I am going to spit poison in its stupid face. And
luck would have it. Sure, you slice the mummy's head clean off. It falls from its body, landing in its sarcophagus right between your legs because you're straddling its sarcophagus, and you spit down on its face with acid that dissolves part of its already decomposed features.
Awesome.
And then, as luck would have it, you rather comically shrink to normal size.
Oh, it's been a while.
And fall back into the coffin, dropping your sword as you struggle to carry to not drop Odd. Now that you are no longer big enough to carry. So you and Odd fall into a coffin with a mummy head between your legs, in a loving, rather morbid embrace.
Oh.
Sounds like a Tuesday.
You're both
Wednesday.
Prone inside that
Hashtag Wednesday shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say you're out of initiative just yet because you aren't out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, I got some space
Günther's
to
turn. It is now Ondar's turn.
Okay. As the doors bore no fruit to the immediate sides of it, no fruit for finding a way out. If I recall, the doorway here at the bottom, and it snakes and goes up back towards that pit trap. I'm just going to try and go back around the corner and examine along that wall to see if there's anything that's going to open the door, or maybe it's further back.
Sure thing. You start examining back along the wall, and you get as far as the pit, and you don't find anything besides hieroglyphics. I'm not even going to ask you to roll because there isn't anything to find. Interestingly enough, as soon as the mummy died, though, the supernatural darkness that you are all have all been submerged in disappears, and you can all see again. And
It's not nothing.
And perhaps more importantly, the door, which though you couldn't see this, from your side of the door, was being held by a supernatural force. Just as the darkness recedes away, you also see the receding images of this supernatural force recede away a second later.
Okay.
Ondar doesn't know this,
no.
but the bunch
Can
of
I
you
then
know
just-
that the door is no longer locked.
Yeah. I'll just get the mechanical dog that's with me then, and I'll just ask it, bark if there's anyone besides you and me in this hallway, and I want it to
To patrol the
perceive
hallway?
for an invisible
Do
witch.
you instruct it not to go over the pit?
I just want it right beside me. I'm just saying,
Got it.
do you smell anything right now that's not just you and me, buddy, and not our party, but like I want to know, is there anything else in this hallway that it can smell from where it is?
Cool. A second later, you hear what sounds like a death cry, a shriek, which seems to come from the stone wall to your left.
Okay.
Like there was something in the wall screaming. That's your turn. Odd. Let's see now. Odd, I'd like you to roll on your wild magic surge table.
You're muted, Anita.
That is a 25.
Awesome. An eye appears on your forehead for the next minute. During that time, you had advantage on perception checks that rely on sight, but you're unconscious. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't happen to you. Sorry. Yes, you rolled a 25? Fantastic. Günther, you are cradling Odd in a coffin, and a third eye appears on your forehead for the next minute, during which time you had advantage on perception checks that rely on sight. Yes, you, Günther.
Describe the eye. Is it a snake?
It is a
person eye?
snake person eye. It can see in the dark. Sure.
Super.
Fun times. That's Odd's turn. Idron, it's your turn, and you can see again.
I can see again.
Thank God. And your
And
own
I can-
hair is providing illumination again, or rather taking away the light from the area around it.
It's still providing it.
It
It
still
does both.
provides light, yes.
And I immediately see three things that are very apparent. One, we have a down Rin. Two,
you have a down
we have a down
Celadine.
Celadine. And three, we still have a lot of light coming out of that coffin.
Yes, a lot of light coming out of that coffin, and Odd is also down, though she is not dying, but you don't
There
necessarily
is
know
a
that.
mini rave coming from the coffin.
It's a little too bright to see what's going on there.
It's a little too
I can't
bright to
really
see
tell.
that. Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
So what I'm gonna do, and I think I've got enough action to do this, is I'm going to using more sorcery points for quickened spells. I'm going to
Remember, you cannot cast a first level spell as your action, and also a first level spell as your bonus action.
It's cool.
Even though we have quicken spell.
I'm going to
Just in case you were trying
Actually-
to healing word twice or something.
no, I'm gonna do this slightly differently. I don't need to quicken spell anything. I'm going to run over. I'm going to spare the dying Rin.
Okay, Rin, you're stabilized. That's your cantrip, standard action?
Cantrip, standard action.
Does that work even with him being poisoned?
Yes, it works with you being poisoned and cursed. It doesn't get rid of the poison or the curse, but you are stable.
And then I'm going to take my cloak and throw it over this rave party that's coming out of the sarcophagus.
Okay, now Günther, your cradling a glowing, unconscious Odd in a covered sarcophagus with a mummy head between your legs. But you're blinded, so you can't really see anything. You're just seeing spots right now.
Yeah, and with less light in the way, I am going to healing word Celadine.
Okay. How much does she
So
heal? She's not
that-
cursed. She can regain hit points.
Is a good question. It is 1d4 plus my spellcasting, which is okay. So you heal 5 points.
Awesome. You're back up to 5 hit points.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It feels like you almost died there. You just took a phenomenal amount of damage from that mummy.
And
But you're back to 5
That's
hit
all the
points, and you don't see any sign of the dangers that you were previously surrounded by. Okay, so Atron saved the day. Some of you are still unconscious, and weird things are still happening. But for the time being, you have stabilized your allies and the situation at hand. The wraiths don't seem to return, though weird shit is still happening every few seconds with Odd, which we'll deal with in a moment. Because first, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. I don't know about the rest of you, but I gotta use the washroom. So we're gonna stretch our legs. We're gonna take a bio break, and we're gonna refresh our drinks. You all should do the same. I know this stream is so entertaining that you can't pry yourself away from it, and that's why we're giving you these 5 minutes so that you can forgive yourself enough time to do so. We'll see you back in 5 minutes. There's way more stuff to cover today, lots more dungeon to explore, and we'll be back to do just that.
Ooh.
See y'all.
Oh man.
And we're back. And we're back. And I can't be heard. No, I can be heard. Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. Look, so, welcome back, guys. That was a terrifying encounter. But it wasn't so terrifying because you all have finally learned how to work together as a team. It's amazing. Hey KJ, nice to see you in the chat. I thought you couldn't be here on Wednesday nights. Sorry, that's a guy who loves our streams, would love to tune in live, but has told me he can't more often than not because of other commitments. So we're glad to have you here this one time that you can be here, and the same is true for anyone who's here tonight. Yeah, welcome back, you guys. That was a harrowing encounter, but it wasn't so harrowing as it could have been because you all managed to work together. And, of course, because you got lucky with the nat 20 on Rin's death save. I like how he came back to life just for a second to do this and then went back. Rin is still unconscious but stable. Odd is still unconscious but spewing wild magic like crazy. And since we're out of initiative order now, I need everyone in the room, except Günther. And everyone in the room except Günther and Odd. So that's Rebecca, Rin, even though he's unconscious, and Adron. I need you to roll D100s off of Odd's wild magic table.
you know, I really wish I had a D100.
Oh, you mean like an actual D100, not
Yeah,
percentiles.
Yeah.
Hey,
They're so big.
I don't even have a D100, and I have a D5 and a D7, and I have all kinds of weird dice, but I don't even have a D100.
I have seen them.
93.
I have seen them. They're impractical to me because they won't fit in a dice bag.
It's true.
93?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Rin's unconscious body grows to large size as if you just drank the enlarged potion. It only lasts for a minute,
Oh my
but that's
God.
Rin now. Good God.
Oh man.
And what did Adron roll?
78.
78. You cast polymorph on yourself.
Oh.
If you fail the saving throw, you turn into a sheep for the spell's duration.
Okay. What is it? My own saving throw? I guess because I cast it on myself.
You're the
is what I'm
caster,
saying.
so it's your casting saving throw. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's against your own saving throw. So your higher DC would be hurting you in this case, but
Is that a wisdom save for that?
it is a wisdom saving throw, correct? And it lasts an hour. I hope you save. I don't want a sheep in this dungeon for an hour. That would be bad. What'd you roll? You did not save? I need
It's
to
also
get
concentration.
No, it's
Yeah.
not concentration because it's your wild magic. Your wild magic
My-
ignores concentration and components.
My spell save is 14, and I rolled a 13.
Yeah, it just went up, didn't
On
it?
brand.
On brand.
Yep. No, that's not on brand. On brand for me would have been rolling like a 2.
That's true. I don't have a sheep mini, but I'm just going to represent you with our donkey mini.
Aww.
Okay.
Ondar is a Drawn is a donkey. Is a sheep. You know what? What the hell? I'll change the text to say you turn into a donkey.
Sure.
Just because it's wild magic, you can do anything. And Günther. No, Günther is Celadine. What did you roll?
Oh,
Don't also turn into a sheep.
83.
Almost turned into a sheep. Each creature within 30 feet of you takes 1d10 necrotic damage, but you regain hit points equal to the necrotic damage dealt.
Oh.
I'm
bad.
dying again.
That's bad.
Oh.
That's bad. Everyone except Ondar, roll a d10 against yourself.
It's not gonna be too bad. It's a 3.
Best ever.
And you
Oh
can
my
all
God.
apply the damage to yourselves.
10?
10. Well, for you, it doesn't matter how much you rolled because you were unconscious. It just counts as a failed death save,
Yep.
and you're back to dying.
Yep.
I am very lucky. I rolled an 8.
Edron, you're
Oh
a
my
donkey.
God.
You're a donkey. Donkeys don't have resistance to necrotic damage.
I know. And I rolled the full 10.
What's a donkey's
Oh.
HP?
I have no idea. I don't have a donkey stat sheet nearby.
I do. Polymorph. The duration lasts or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies. You could, if this drops you to 0 hit points, you might revert to your form.
Do you want
That could
him
be
to
really
roll
useful.
hit points for the donkey,
No, we'll just use the average.
or do you use the average? Because if you're using the average, he has 11 hit points.
Then you're down to 1 hit point, Hedron. A 1 hit point donkey. If you take 1 more damage, the spell ends, but you're also unconscious and dying. Fun.
my God,
And so
You
wait,
just
that's
revert.
Celadine, as the necrotic energy emits from your body somehow, sapping the life force of your friends. You get back 10 from Adron, 10 from Rin. It was 3 from Günther,
3.
so 23. What did Odd roll?
8
8.
out of
so
9.
out of 9, so you're down to 1 hit point too. But still unconscious. So 31. You gain 31 hit points, Celadine.
I'm 2 points away from full.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
Not all
Good.
bad.
Wow.
I think I need to
You're
make a
welcome.
death saving throw now.
Yeah.
You do need to make a death saving throw.
Oh God.
Please don't roll an at 1. Tell me it was not an at 1.
Did you really?
Did you
Just
roll
do
an
it,
at 1?
Justin. Is
It
it
is-
20?
Rin is dead.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Did you roll an at 1?
Yes, he is.
Well, that just is 2 death saves. Are you?
Have you already failed 1 death save?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of the necrotic damage.
Because of your damage.
I'll tell. I will say. I will say this. Adron, the donkey, Saladin. Adron and Saladin, technically, if we get a turn before Rin rolled that one, we were doing this out of initiative because I didn't think it mattered, but apparently it does matter. So
I don't know what's wrong with
apparently
me.
it does matter. The Raven Queen gives you the natural 20 when there's a fight going on, but if you're dying when there's no fight going on, she's not impressed. Celadine, you're the only one who can do something. You just took the last of Rin's life force, apparently.
I run.
You have less
over.
than 6 seconds to stabilize him.
Yeah, I run like a mother, and frickin' I give him my last spell slot.
Okay, what do you cast?
Spare the dying, spare the dying, spare the dying.
Cure wounds,
Cure
second
wounds.
level. Spare.
Okay.
I
What?
can't have him unconscious for an hour.
Cure wounds second hour. What do you roll?
I roll. Okay. 14.
Rin,
Mhm.
you have 14 hit points.
Can I gain hit points?
Yeah. I didn't tell you this. I did not tell you this earlier because I wanted to maintain the suspense in combat, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know. But when you rolled that nat 20 on your death save, and I told you that in your head you hear a voice that says no, that was the Raven Queen herself reaching across the plains from the Shadowfell to cast Remove Curse on you.
Oh.
That's effectively how I ruled that. Is that she allowed you to. She didn't just allow you to regain that 1 hit point from the nat 20 death saving throw. She allowed you to regain all hit points by removing the curse.
It's just gonna get up. Or open his eyes, look at Celadine.
I am examining the
You
crap out of him.
know that Celadine healed you, but you also know in the back of your mind that the only reason that healing was possible was because of the Raven Queen.
Rin. Are you okay?
He legit. He's almost died several times in the past 13 episodes, but I think this was the closest he's ever come to dying.
This was the one.
He was within 6 seconds of permadeath.
Those wraiths might come back. We need you here to be focused. Can you please we need to just check the walls with me. I think they're going to come back.
Can you guys hear me in there?
You can hear the muffled voice
Can
of
we?
Ondar through the wall. Yeah, through the door.
Otto, open the door.
Ondar, do you push against the door?
Yeah, I do.
It opens.
Fantastic.
Okay.
You
What's
walk.
going on?
You walk in to see a donkey, a Celadine standing over Rin's battered self. He's barely, he's just coming to again. And you don't see a sign of your other friends. Rin is enlarged as well. You don't see your other friends, though you do see a cloak over top of the coffin that is opened, otherwise opened, and light coming from underneath the cloak.
Check on Odd.
Where's Odd?
Under the thing.
Okay. So I'll kind of go forward and
Lift the cloak.
yeah.
You see Günther looking like the wind's been knocked out of him, back to normal size, cradling a glowing Odd. She's glowing multicolors, and she's unconscious. And there's a mummy head between Günther's legs.
Okay. I will healing word on.
There's a third eye on Günther's forehead. You've never seen him open that before.
No. The enlarging, the light, the donkey in the room. Ondar obviously missed the party, so
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
There's a lot of weird shit going on.
I have a command, and that is check on Odd. She's unconscious, so I'll give her a healing word.
Sure.
Okay.
Your
which is,
healing word doesn't wake her up, but it does let her regain hit points.
Okay. Well, either way, she got.
Is the door open now?
Mixture.
The door is
Yes.
open now. Does the donkey just wander out the door?
The donkey doesn't like being underground. He's gonna walk out the door.
Seeing the donkey and being delirious, Rin is going to make a beeline toward the donkey and just kind of grab it.
Okay. You have to.
He doesn't resist.
You're a giant elf squeezing through a little door, reaching out and grabbing the donkey with your giant elf hand.
Yeah.
And pulling it back into the room.
Come, donkey.
And I'll drop the sheet back over her because I'm not wanting to just blind myself staring at it. I'll kind of back away and go, does anyone want to explain what happened?
Where is it drawn?
My guess is what the donkey, where else would it have, like, Adron is missing and there's a donkey.
Ondar.
But the race could come back. I don't understand.
Ondar.
Race?
Ondar,
Yes.
roll a D100, please.
Oh, I walked in the room, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I was like, I don't think outside the room. Check on Odd.
You can discuss check on
Please don't roll 80, whatever it was, 7, whatever. Please
Yeah.
don't kill everyone with necrotic
That was
damage.
83. As
83.
long as it's not an 83.
There's a 3 in it,
Okay.
and it's at the latter half. I rolled a 43.
For the next minute, you can teleport up to 20 feet as a bonus action on each of your turns. You become innately aware that you've gained this power.
You're welcome.
It is within
Do you
your
have
control,
notes?
despite the fact that it is, despite the fact that it's random wild magic granting you this power. You manage to aim it and control it. Yeah.
So, does anything visual happen to me when I gain this ability, though?
No, not inherently. But you
Okay.
you feel this sense that you can be anywhere at once, and like as soon as you look somewhere and say I want to cross the room, you are across the room. It's a bonus action. It takes
And
nothing. to
it
do.
requires line of sight?
Yeah,
Okay.
as all teleporting does
Okay.
for the most part.
For a minute, though.
For 1 minute, that's 10 rounds.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well
Uh,
so go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna be like, guys, I feel strange. Like, I just got an ability walking into the room. Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna go out of the room, and I just and I'm out of the room.
The donkey nuzzles up against Rin and kind of calms down from being restrained.
Sure
It's
thing.
It's okay, donkey. It's okay.
Yes, Zaid.
I don't know if Odd can hear or not, but Günther is saying...
She's not moving in your arms. You know she's still there, but you can't see her because you're still seeing spots.
Sure. Günther is...
3 times as many spots.
He's cradling her a little closer, and he's whispering to her unconscious form, Inter capellas agno vaganti canis dixi se fertur, non est hic mater tua. And it's a very old lullaby that his mom used to tell to him, and he's just cradling her close, hoping that she's gonna wake up.
Okay.
I'm kind of standing guard next to them. I hear Günther's okay, so I'm just standing.
Rin is going to, still with the donkey in his enlarged hands, gonna go collect his chain whip. Going to head over to
audience members, sorry to interrupt you, Justin. This is just critically important. Colin has a fun habit of changing his name in the Zoom chat that you don't see, but we see in the Zoom chat to fit his circumstances. every time he's almost died, he's become Deadron, which was a fun name that you guys have given him. One time he switched it to Undeadron when it looked like he was going to be a zombie. And right now it just says the real donkey, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Sorry, Justin, continue. Oh, and he's typed, "I am the best donkey. I will carry your packs."
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I needed to share that with everyone.
Shoot, I lost it.
you started by saying as.
Oh, that's
you
where
started
he's
by
going.
saying as I'm guiding Donkey along because you're carrying Donkey with you.
He's going to open up the chest.
Okay.
Are we watching that? Like, we can watch that.
Yeah. You guys see the giant Rin heading almost nonchalantly towards the chest. I don't know if you. I know Rebecca just gained a ton of hit points, but if any of these things are trapped, I know a few of you are still on death's door.
I'm gonna say, Rin, we need Günther to look at these. We can't. Hold on.
I'm gonna look the chest over.
Who knows if these things will start another encounter? And you're definitely not in a position where you're ready to fight right now.
Wait, we're not? What did I miss?
Well, the real donkey, his attack. I know you think he looks formidable, but his attacks are not
I will
great.
bite.
So you're looking over the chest. You want to make an inspection check?
Yeah.
Investigation or perception check?
Yep. 17 plus 1, so 18.
You look over the bronze chest. At first, it doesn't look like it's trapped, but then you see a strange, almost like a latch that connects to the back of the lock.
I'm gonna look over the next one.
Okay, the silver or the gold one?
Let's go silver.
Okay, you look over the silver chest, and I'm gonna say you have advantage this time because you, in theory, know what you're looking for.
That'll be a 18.
A similar latch adorns the lock on this chest.
All right.
Want to look at the gold chest?
Yep.
Again, advantage.
And that's gonna be a 16.
This one, curiously, despite being the gold-rimmed chest, does not have any sort of latch or trap that you can see affixed to the chest or the lock. That doesn't mean it's not trapped in some way, but you don't see the same mechanism connected that the other ones did have. So while he's inspecting these things thoroughly, what are the rest of you doing? I know poor Anita is still unconscious.
How long did the donkey last? Did you say a minute?
A minute. It
I
has.
thought it was an hour.
Oh no, the donkey. Yeah, the donkey is an hour.
Polymorph is an hour.
All of the other effects are a minute, but
Dang.
the donkey is an hour.
The donkey's just following Rin around and kind of like nuzzling against his leg.
While Rin is looking over, he's absentmindedly like petting the donkey.
Got it. Antar, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stay like, you guys don't look pretty good. Should we bunker down, but maybe not in the room because it might still be dangerous?
I don't know where the wraiths went. I keep thinking they're
what
going to come back.
wraiths?
They came out of the urns that were on the ground. There was.
And where she points, you can see shattered clay pots.
Okay. Well, I'm outside the room, so I just kind of peek my head in the door. Do I see any more urns?
No.
Okay, so there's no more. Okay.
They were. I turned them, but I fell. So I thought. I don't know if they stay turned.
All right. So Günther, you're the expert here. Should we continue to be worried? Is there more danger in this room?
Günther is still blinded in a coffin underneath the cloak. But as Ondar asks you this, the glowing multicolor odd, immediately ceases glowing. The aura around her just fizzles, and as it does, this rainbow shockwave goes out from the coffin, out to 30 feet, and as it passes over you, I need each of you to once again roll one more time on the wild magic table. Except Odd, you don't have to roll. You just immediately wake up in Günther's arms in a coffin.
So this is a D100?
D100, yes.
Color change has stopped. The
Color change has stopped, yes.
Okay,
Well, it's and so much that it does. You still can change color, but in your normal way.
64.
64.
A 50 and a 0.
Hang on, I need to do these one at a time. 64. Idron, the donkey, tries to cast a spell centered on itself. I'm gonna say that the donkey is incapable of casting the spell.
Thank God.
Despite,
It depends on the nature of the spell.
You know what? It does depend on the nature of the spell. As the wild magic aura washes over you, you feel a surge of power through you, and it tries to use you as a conduit to come out, but you just go hee-haw, and that's all that happens instead.
Lovely.
Rainbow farts.
What did Rin roll?
16.
16 means for the next minute you regain 5 hit points at the start of each of your turns.
Hey.
For a minute is 10 rounds. Assuming nothing happens to interrupt this, for 10 rounds you regain 50 hit points after a minute.
Hey.
Awesome.
And assuming nothing happens, you can just give yourself 50 hit points. Unless you're planning on opening that chest, in which case I need you to do it 5 every 6 seconds. For no particular reason.
You
What
tempted me.
What did Nick roll?
Who'd you say?
Nick.
I rolled a 20.
20 means you cast grease centered on yourself.
Grease. I love it.
Grease flies out of your palms, and slick grease covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on you. Slip and
But
slide.
not me, though. Doesn't get on me, though, right?
Well, it doesn't, but it will as you slip and slide and can barely hold yourself still standing. Make a dex
I
save.
teleport off of it.
You,
Hey.
you can teleport off of it after you make a dex save to avoid falling prone.
I don't want to get dirty, guys.
You're gonna get covered in grease if you fail this dex save. I'm sorry.
You
but
can press the digitate, clean the clothes.
Yeah, that's after.
Do you fall in the grease?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
you
rolled a
fall.
5.
Okay, you fall in the grease. You're covered in grease. And then you teleport out of the grease, but you're still covered in grease. We've got Rim, we got Edron. Günther, what did you roll?
A 50 and a 0. So I don't know if that's...
50?
That's 50.
That's 50.
50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The 0 counts as 10 when you're rolling for damage,
Oh.
but not for this. So
That's when I get Josh to do the work.
yeah. You can't speak for the next minute. Whenever you try, pink bubbles float out of your mouth.
It's okay. I wasn't just asked a super important question or anything.
Yeah, because this all happened in reaction to you getting asked by Andy.
Oh God.
And Celadine, what did you roll?
27.
For the next minute, all of your spells with a casting time of 1 action instead have a casting time of 1 bonus action.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
It sure would
We should
have.
fight right now.
Yeah.
Right.
He tries to say blah 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 blah. We should- did I get everybody there?
I think that's everybody.
Oh.
Red is officially gonna start looking for
Pink bubbles.
Odd,
He finds
Odd
them.
and Gunther.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
is
Pink
is
bubbles.
Odd still blinding people?
No, she's not. In fact, she probably immediately sits up, not wanting to be in a coffin. There's a cloak covering the coffin, but you can shove it off and get out of the coffin if you'd like.
I'll help out up too.
Sorry.
You probably
Anita,
won't need to. I'm enlarged, so he's just gonna like.
And Anita, you have a bunch of new memories. Or at least you think they're memories, but it's gonna take you some time to really process them. So we won't get into what they are just this minute. You need to sit down for a long rest to really process what you saw in your unconscious state.
Is it enough for a bonus episode?
It sure is enough for a bonus episode. So at some point, Anita and I will need to do a Grey Wolf short covering what she saw while she was unconscious right now for a minute.
Lovely.
It was a minute to everyone else, but for you it might as well have been an hour because you're reawakening memories that could have spanned longer than a minute.
Sorry. Sorry.
Are you well?
Yeah. I think I'm okay.
You have quite
I
the
got
aura.
greased. Oh, this is so nasty.
Aw, sorry, I shouldn't speak for you there, but I just had to.
No, it's okay. If you hadn't, I was about to.
Good boy.
Excuse me, and he's just gonna go past Odd and then pick up Günther out of the coffin as well.
Okay. You cradle Günther in the same way he's cradled Odd, and you just
Odd's crawled out of
gingerly lift him away from the zombie head
That's
between
gross.
his legs. And you put him down on the floor next to his sword, which is on the floor.
Yeah.
You can pat him on the head if you like. He's so little. Everyone's so little and cute compared to you.
He's not gonna be that guy. He's just gonna.
Okay.
I'm glad somebody else finally gets it.
He's just gonna account for everybody, and he is going to try and draw everybody's focus.
You can see everyone except Adron.
We need to locate Adron.
You say as you pet the donkey.
Yeah.
Random fairly sure he's the donkey.
That would make sense.
Odd, you had a lot going on there. Are you okay?
I might have drank that potion.
That explains a
magic.
lot of things. Okay. You're okay now?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
You still feel a little bit tingly, but
Yeah.
Günther,
otherwise,
we need to address these chests.
Sorry, I think I've got something in my throat.
Do I talk? Has it been a minute?
He's gonna take out his water skin and hand it to Odd.
bubble, 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 pink bubbles.
Thank you.
Pink bubbles come out of Gunther's mouth.
Take a moment. You'll be all right. As for the chests, 2 of them are obviously trapped. I did not see a trap on the gold. If we are to start opening the chest, I would recommend we start with the gold.
If we're gonna be opening things, we should do it from a distance. Okay, guys? Because you were in the room and bad stuff happened. So let's do it from outside the room.
That sounds good.
Günther, hearing this, knows a thing or two about his people and would love to say something, but pink bubbles just come out of his mouth.
Rid is going to also, the same way that when he was messed up, took his head, he's going to do the same for her and look to Günther and say, "Are you well, friend?"
It should pass. If it's anything like what I think it is.
Do you want to do this Andra's way, or do you want to examine them for yourself first? Yes, no, do you want to examine them?
If you are unable to speak, write words in the dirt.
There is no dirt, it's all stone.
I'm good.
There's no dust?
But, Rin, you have your notebook.
Correct.
I can do a lot of this non-verbally.
Sure. I just sent you a message on Discord, by the way. Not that you can speak just yet, but Well, you can speak, but only bubbles come out.
Sure. Awesome. I am gonna do a couple things non-verbally.
Mhm.
First and foremost, I'm gonna reach into my bag. I am going to take out a scroll. I'm gonna bop Ondar on the forehead with it. I'm gonna point at the thing orbiting Odd's head.
Oh,
And
that
I'm
little
gonna-
purple thing, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm-
excellent.
And I'm gonna hand Ondar the scroll, and it's a scroll of identify that I got in my session 0.
Nice. You've been carrying that for a while.
And I was gonna pluck that out of the air.
I am
Okay.
And fun fact,
So,
as
you want me
as,
to
as
identify
he's
this?
as he's doing all of this, and occasionally he's trying to do it all non-verbally, but you know the instinct to say something is strong, and pink bubbles keep coming out. And at some point, as he's gesturing around and burping up pink bubbles, they stop and say, and find out what that does.
There's
know,
a spell
he's-
inside here, but then
he's-
you need to know what this is.
He's halfway through a sentence when the bubbles seem to stop.
Also, there's this other potion that we might need to
Okay.
have identified.
If we have time, we can save these. I can cast this spell as a ritual.
Super. But perhaps you
Are
start
we
with
going-
this out.
As I asked Günther, now you can talk again. Where are we going to be safe? You guys just got hammered pretty hard.
Right. I'm gonna take a look at the chest. Everybody stay away from the gold one. The gold one's an obvious trap. There's nothing inside us in danger. In the meantime, we're gonna need. I would very much like to know what the spell is inside the object orbiting this Fraulein's head.
Should we close the door and secure it?
Günther, you would know that outside of the spectral protectors that guarded this room, and the lock that the wedged lock which you've already disabled on the door. Outside of those things, they're likely, and whatever traps protect the chest, they're likely this room would likely be safer than anywhere else in the dungeon, because if this was the mummified leader of these people, all of the precautions would protect this room and not attack this room, outside of the things you've already fought.
I think this room is the safest place in the entire temple now that we've gotten rid of the inhabitants. If we're gonna take 10 minutes, this is the safest place to take those 10 minutes.
If Ondar's proposing casting it as a ritual, that would take an hour, I believe. If you want to cast it from the scroll, no?
Nope. Ritual
casting takes 10 minutes.
Really?
10 minutes.
10
Plus
minutes
the
plus
time of
the
the
time.
spell.
Yep.
10 minutes on top
So
of the
it'd be
time it takes to set.
11.
Yeah, so 11 total.
Because it is a minute long spell.
Mhm.
Right.
Itron, you have that rod that sticks thing in the air?
Dron's a donkey.
Oh, there's a trick.
He's currently a donkey.
I'm gonna
He's still holding a trot donkey.
I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna just Donkey looks pretty hurt, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yes,
has one hit
is-
point.
He is damaged.
I'm gonna take
but
my dart.
he's not like necessarily obviously damaged. He doesn't have wounds so much as it looks like the life has been sapped out of him. He has necrotic damage.
Okay. I'm gonna take the dart.
When he sees her take the dart, he's like, "What are you doing?"
The donkey nuzzles
Gotta
up
pop
to
the
Ren
bubble.
and backs away from Odd.
And I'm going to poke the donkey in the neck with the dart.
What did you do?
Hopefully deal 1 HP of damage.
Sure. What's your strength modifier?
+1.
You do 2 HP of damage. Does the extra damage carry over to him when it ends?
Yeah.
It does.
I think so.
But Idron, I think, was pretty much full. Or how
Yeah,
much?
so Edron, you take 1 point of actual damage
Okay.
onto your HP,
So Red's holding
and
this
you're
donkey.
and you're no longer a donkey.
He's holding this donkey with his giant enlarged arms, and then it just turns into a drop. And he looks at a drop. He's like, "Oh."
So Adron comes to from being a donkey with or without the memories of being a donkey?
With.
With.
Though you did have, while you were a donkey, you did have the intelligence of a donkey. You still you still remember things, but you remember things in the way that a donkey would remember them. Not
a donkey. I actually looked it up just to be safe. A donkey has an intelligence of 2, so.
So you do remember the events, but in the way that a donkey might remember them. However, I don't know what that means, but you can interpret.
Rin is going to lightly put a draw down and just kind of. Your plan worked, Todd.
That was very odd.
Rin also shrinks to his normal size.
Yeah.
I
need to sleep.
Were you... Rin, I'm sorry if I overstepped my bounds there.
You were a donkey.
Yes. Odd, you had a question?
Yes. You have that thing that does the clicky and then it stays in place, right?
Oh, yes, my immovable rod. Yeah.
Excellent. We should probably go to the door.
Lock the door? Yeah.
Close it and then...
That's exactly what I do with it. I kind of put it right by the door jamb. So like by the edge of the door, so not in the center.
Yeah.
And click it on, so it's right against the wall.
Okay, so you close the door with everyone inside, and you use your immovable rod to wedging it in such a place that, unless someone is really, really strong, they're not opening that door.
Well, I placed it in such a way that the door will break before the rod moves.
That's true. Yeah, most likely.
That's the goal.
So should we rest first?
And the door is made of stone, so.
Yeah.
Should we rest first and then investigate the chests?
Well, are we? I take it from the fact that I'm closing the door that we're resting here for a bit.
Yes.
At least a short rest if we can stand it.
I don't feel comfortable staying here that long. Is everyone cool with 10 minutes?
An hour should be fine. If we know what threats will come our way if we stay in here. If we continue forward, there will be new threats that we do not know.
Well, I'm gonna cast a prayer of healing anyway.
Okay.
So everyone can then...
You know that if you're taking a short rest, that at the end of the short rest, people can just spend their hit dice, right?
Yeah.
Also...
And I can sing a song of healing.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm just saying, if you are indeed taking that short rest, you don't necessarily need to spend your...
I'm pushing for us to not take the short rest.
Got it. And you're
Adron,
hoping...
why?
I don't feel comfortable staying here for too long.
Right.
We don't know what's going on out there. What do you think the odds are that Antizilla is just gonna flood this place?
She wants a chalice.
She wants the chalice. Listen, consider the alternative. Either we fight her here or we fight her upstairs. Here at least we know where we are. The alternative is walking upstairs unrested into a trap. And I guarantee there's a trap upstairs.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But do you really want to spend an hour letting her prepare?
And I start looking around, and I see Odd barely back to consciousness. I see Celadine barely back to consciousness. I see Rin,
who's looking pretty healthy, actually.
who's just gotten back up. And I say, I don't think an hour one way or the others gonna help her any more than it's gonna help us. She's had 1,000 years to prepare for this. An extra hour is gonna help us more than it helps her.
I know that extra hour could be that could be the difference between whether we win this next fight or we lose it.
Also, to defend what Adron is saying, we also don't know what's happening to Karsus and Zulkin.
Adron, please, I know in the past I've chastised you for speaking out of turn, but I need you to say what you're thinking here.
She sent me down here to get something out of some sort of deal. I've been stuck down here for a little while, and I've come to realize she didn't send me down here because she wanted to get some sort of chalice or anything.
You think
she sent me down here to kill me so she wouldn't have to do the dirty work herself.
That sounds right.
To speak plainly, since we didn't actually really have a fully detailed conversation, but Adron, when you were talking privately with the witch, she did tell you that she wanted that chalice, but not so much as she wanted you all to hopefully die so that you weren't a problem anymore.
Yes.
She said that if you managed to survive the dungeon and come back with the chalice, she would accept the chalice as a consolation prize, sort of, as a, well, this is not what I wanted, but it's, I guess, what I'll settle for. When what she really wants is for the tree to die and for nobody to interfere with those plans.
Yes.
That is her goal number one, and she hopes you'll fail down here in this dungeon so that she can achieve her goal number one.
Yeah.
If you don't die, she has promised to accept the chalice as a kind of second place loser's prize.
Yeah. Back in character for a moment.
Yeah.
I don't think you realize this is all a game to her. What she really wants, she wants the grandfather tree to die. She wants us to die. And more than anything, she just wants to win by way of having control of everything and have everything dead.
She wants us to suffer.
Ren is going to stand up at this point and walk over to Adron and put his hand on his shoulder and go, "You are probably right. I have no doubt. What I ask of you now is something that I am learning myself. I need you to have faith in all of us. We need an hour. And I believe that if we are able to stand as a unit, starting with this decision, then an hour for us will equal an eternity for her. I believe that if we stand united, starting now with this decision, despite whatever she wants, we will succeed. We must become a weapon. We must have a joint purpose. I will follow whatever decision that you choose, Adron. I ask that you consider the decision of the group.
I trust both you, Rin, for your advice on how to fight, and Günther for your strategies. If we can be ready to go at nearly as full strength in 10 minutes as we would in an hour, would that not be a better plan?
I promise you that if you can give me an hour, I will be infinitely more useful than I will be in simply 10 minutes.
I can promise the same thing.
I can't promise that. But
Out of game for a second. What do you all get back?
I get
from
back
a short rest.
I get back all my key points.
How many key points have you spent?
All of them.
All of them.
Oh, okay. That's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get back all my key points. I'm good on health now, so that's really it. He's just saying he just needs to focus. And also, for an emotional aspect of it, he hasn't really had time to
Yep.
digest that fight he had with himself, and that's what he's really
Of course.
arguing for.
I'm not. I, as the dungeon master, am not arguing for one side or the other. I was just
putting it out there.
I just wanted to let in metagame terms, for everyone to be on the same page, knowing why you want the short rest so badly. Would help. Günther gets back his rages, right?
No, I don't, but I get back. I'm at like half hit points, and I'd rather be at full hit points.
Mondar's casting a spell right now.
Yeah. It also gives me an hour to figure out, like, there's a lot of information in this room, and I'm hoping Josh is the kind of DM that buried something useful
somewhere in here. If you take a short rest as opposed to 10 minutes, you're more likely to find something than if you only spend 10 minutes in this room. Yeah, that's probably a correct assumption.
Well, I'll say that in Draconic.
Meta draconic.
If an hour is what you need, let's take an hour.
I'm sorry, what's a MacGuffin? Is it a MacGuffin? Is it in this room?
Guys, I found a gun.
Those exist in the world right now.
Thank you, Idron. He takes his hand off your shoulder and then just finds a dark corner to sit and start meditating.
Okay.
And I'm ritually identifying the Ions.
The spell in it, please.
Correct.
And the potion?
Identify. Well, you're casting it as a ritual, so you can cast as many times as you want without casting. You can only identify one thing per casting, right?
That's right. So if I had to do both, it took me 22 minutes, and then I would short rest.
And then you would short rest. I'm gonna be nice and generous and say that casting a spell as a ritual is light enough activity that that you can do it during your short rest instead of having to do it separately.
Much appreciated.
Or rather, I'll say you can cast one spell as a ritual during your short rests. You'll need to spend an extra 11 minutes outside of your short rest to
So then,
cast it
well,
twice.
while they've been talking, I've already been doing the one. So I'll
Correct.
do one outside and I'll do one during.
Awesome. So you're identifying the potion and the spell within her Ion Stone of Storing. The Ion Stone of Storing is a regular reserve Ion Stone, the details of which are in the DMG, and you've all seen it before, I'm sure. It can store a spell up to 3rd level. Something's been done to this one to modify it, to allow it to cast, to allow it to hold a stronger than 3rd level spell. That's not a permanent change. It was a change that that would have had to have happened in the process of inserting the spell into it. So once the spell has been casted out of it, it's still a regular reserve Ion Stone. You would only be able to put a 3rd level spell into it. But what's in it right now is a great deal higher than 3rd level. It is a 7th level spell.
Whoa.
It's a 7th level spell. And here's the thing. Identify is the go-to spell for telling you what something is. And identify is a resource that that you as players come to rely on. And I don't want to, as a dungeon master, make you feel like I am denying you the cool abilities that you're supposed to have. Nevertheless, even Identify, all-powerful that it is not foolproof. And whatever spell is inside this thing, Identify can't identify. It does tell you that it is a 7th level spell, that it is a buff spell of some type. It is a...
What school?
What school? Sure, I'll tell you what school. I will go so
there's
far
one.
as telling you what school.
Thank you.
It is... It is from the Conjuration School.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Seventh
Josh to
level
finish?
conjuration buff spell that Identify cannot figure out.
Okay. Logged.
You've
Sorry.
also, Ondar, you've never seen Identify fail before.
No, this is a puzzle he'll have to then think about for a little bit.
Before we interrupted, Josh was about to say some more stuff about. He was going to say this is a spell that.
It's a. I was just gonna say it's a spell that Identify can't identify. I was just gonna harp on that some more, which I already said. I was just gonna repeat it for emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
It's a
I
good
didn't
puzzle.
mean to get your hopes up that there was more information forthcoming. But
No. I understand the context. So then I'll just let you guys do your thing, and then when you want to come back to identifying the potion, we can do that later too.
I'm operating under the assumption that the gold chest is a decoy and holds nothing except death. And I am focusing my attention on the other two chests, and I know at least one of them has something in it. So I'm cross-referencing any information I can get from the chests with what's in the literature along the walls.
Günther, there are 2 latches on the copper and the silver located precisely here. And he tells him.
okay. So in pointing them out, you also see them. I'm not even gonna make you roll.
Okay.
So what are you doing exactly? Sorry, you might have said it. I was.
So yeah, I'm cross-referencing any writing or clues there are on the actual chests with any information along the literature of the walls.
There isn't any information on the chests themselves.
Right.
Along the walls, it does in the stories of this leader, this hero to his people. It does speak of his 2 most prized possessions that would have been stored in these chests along with his burial chamber.
And I'm going to be a grammar Nazi here. And does it say chest or chests?
Chests, plural. 2 prized possessions in these chests.
Then
Does
I think
not say
they-
3.
Right. So then I think there is. I think the gold is a decoy. I think there's one. Well, I'm going to assume that there's one in each of the bronze and the silver, unless that is dumb. I'll do an intelligence check or whatever.
You know, an intelligence check is not going to tell you beyond a reason of a doubt that it's more likely to be in one or the other. You've just reasoned that it's not likely to be in the gold.
I guess that was just asking for unless Zaid has totally missed something. That's what I'm assuming.
Zaid is making the intelligence check, not Günther.
Zaid will make the intelligence check.
Rin also made sure to tell him that there's latches on the copper and silver, but not the gold.
Okay. In fact, the gold. Listen, this is not an entire plan, but it's the pieces of one. Suppose we bring the gold chest up to the witch and present it to her.
I believe that Ondar had a solution in mind for how we could go about understanding the contents of the chest. Perhaps we should seek his guidance in this.
I'm partway through the second identify. I was like, I'll need a minute.
Todd's gonna walk over and watch the ritual for the identify spell.
Sure.
Kadron
I'll say that you're already through
practicing
it
his lute.
because you're going through your short rest and time can pass more quickly.
I'm gonna try to instruct Rin with as much knowledge as I have of how Yuan-ti traps work. We got to get these chests open. His hands are much steadier than mine.
His hands are steadier than yours. However, in telling him how all this stuff works, one of the things that you casually go over is you mentioned that there's likely poison in some of these chests because we tend to like using poison as a trap mechanism, to which Rin can realize as Günther's saying this. Wait, isn't
From my experience,
isn't
you are
Günther
more resilient to poison
Yeah.
than I am.
And if Rin is okay with it, then good. Then I'll take the lead. I'm not super good with this stuff, but at least if it stabs me, it's just a stab.
Günther, I believe that the best course of action will be to consider the plans of everyone in the company before we make a decision. And I believe that Ondar may have a solution.
Ondar, you're
Okay.
finished with your spell.
Okay.
I've already told you everything Oh, I haven't told you everything. I haven't told you what the potion did yet, did I?
That's what he was.
My goodness, silly me. It is. I'll get back to you in a second. You guys can continue discussing.
No
But
worries.
you're done
So-
your ritual. I'll tell you what it is in a second.
Yeah.
But
Okay. So I'll just quickly turn and go. If everyone steps back, as long as they're not locked, I can have my helper open them, and
They
I,
are-
You know,
they are locked, and the mechanism that you believe is a trap is attached to the locks.
okay. Well, I can have him try first. He may not be very good, but we can learn something and not get hurt.
What are the odds that setting off this trap destroys whatever's inside it?
If you're asking me, I don't have an answer
Yep,
for you.
you would know that best.
Yeah,
I would,
I mean,
but yeah. Oh, you're saying to him, he would know that best. Make for the odds that it would destroy whatever's inside it. If I can't answer your question,
Okay.
but I can't tell you. But I can tell you that I can just repeat what you've already read. These are, in theory, this guy's most prized possessions. So
Let's just open them. Worst thing that happens is if the unseen servant can open the chests and it breaks whatever's inside, we're no worse off than we are right now because we also don't have whatever's inside.
the potion you are holding is a potion of resistance to fire damage.
Ooh, okay. So
Sorry,
I'll
this
let you
is-
know about both things and hand them back to Odd.
Just for my notes, this is the red potion with the tinge of blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
I believe so.
Okay, so
And then just say the word. I'll summon my guy.
I'll stand back.
Your guy, Nick. I don't know what version of the spell you're reading, but your guy is incapable of trying to pick a lock.
Okay.
And
That's beyond his skill set.
if your spell is unable to do it, I suggest that you save that power. Everyone should leave the room.
Odd is gonna wander over to the broken vases
Mm-hmm.
and is gonna start sorting through the broken pieces.
And I'll
Looking
quickly
for a
ask
key?
Gunther, is
Yeah.
it okay to take the head, or should
They
we?
were-
Yeah, I'd like the head of the mummy.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to take that head.
Okay. So I'll pick that up and I'll shove it in the top of my bag, just as like evidence for the witch, saying we dealt with the problem. You know, here's. your
I'll in
chalice.
fact open the bag of holding and ask him to alley-oop it in there.
And
Okay.
and if you're all if you're all done looking around and examining and doing various things, I'll say you all gain the benefit of a short rest,
Woo!
which means
Uh,
Rin gets
we
back
could-
his key points. The bunch of you can regain hit points if you spend your healing surges, and if you spend at least one healing surge, you get an extra whatever Nick rolls.
D6.
D6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll a D6. I'll say a little like nursery rhyme kind of thing. It's a limerick. Watch, dear children, the dark. Keep light and to my words hark. With feet off the ground, there will be no sound. You under the covers must park. And you get 5 extra hit points.
Nice.
Odds back
Each.
full. It's not.
And I do believe Anita was, or Odd was going through the vases to see if she could find anything.
You do have to spend at least 1 healing surge to get back the 5 hit points. So if the 5 hit points alone would make you go back to full, you still have to.
I also rolled. I rolled a 4, so
Awesome.
I would have been back to full anyways.
Nice.
Because I only have 9 hit points.
Yeah, it's like
Such is life.
that. Your song of rest is nice and inspiring, but it's like this is way more than I need. Odd was looking through the urns. You said the broken urns.
Yeah, the broken urns.
It's just shattered pieces of clay at this point.
Yeah. Her thinking was that if these were guardians, they might have guarded the key. these treasure
You
chests.
don't find anything looking through the pieces of the urns. However, because you guys decided to spend an hour in this room, which might have hurt you in some ways, I'm gonna give you a benefit in other ways. Because you spent an hour in this room, the sheer amount of time you spent allowed you to examine the room in more detail, and Günther especially, with your keen third eye, not that you still have a third eye, it only lasted a minute, but you happen to notice there are scrape marks on the floor surrounding the coffin.
Does somebody smarter than me know what that means?
We gotta move it.
It means we need
Underneath.
to move the coffin.
Underneath the coffin.
Okay. Does someone stronger than me want to move the coffin?
I'll step up and help.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
we've
big
got it.
now. Is he
No,
strong?
he's not big
No,
enough.
I'm not.
Still big.
But I'm still
Stronger
I'm-
than you.
okay.
Sure.
I can help.
Okay, and as Elodie comes by his side to help, he is gonna say, "Thank you for healing me."
It was a drawn end myself. I went down too.
We're gonna push this thingamajig.
The two of you get next to it. This coffin is massive and really heavy.
I'll be on the other side pulling.
You'll be on the other side pulling?
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you working together, what is your combined strength scores?
My strength score is 13.
14.
I think 11.
13, 14, and 11, so 27, 38? You just barely
Oh,
move this thing. It required a combined strength score of 35 to move this thing.
all right.
It's really heavy, but you do shove aside the coffin, revealing beneath it a hole with a ladder going down
Oof.
to a lower level of this temple. Now, your short rest is done. You've uncovered a new exit to this room, and you still have presumably 2 trapped chests to deal with. What do you want to do?
I can go down with light if you need, Günther.
It would be best if I go Elodie.
First things first. I believe there's something in these chests. I believe I'm the best person to try to open them. If I fail, it's less of a detriment to me than it is to the rest of you.
Is there not a possibility that there could be something to unlock them with from underneath here?
Josh, looking at the chests, keyholes or runes
It
or...
looked like it said there was a lock on it.
I believe we said locks.
Yeah. Günther, I think go for it. I'm ready to get you back up if anything happens. And I think we should all just either head down into the pit and try and wait it out down there, or stand against the wall. What do you think?
Undar's gonna light another torch, and I'm gonna climb down.
Pit might be safer.
It might be safer.
Okay.
It might be safer. I'll stay near the top of the pit,
Ondar,
ready to get you back up.
Your prestidigitation light does not illuminate a lot. You know that, right?
He's saying it lights a torch.
Yeah.
It's not the same light as a torch.
Oh, you pull out a torch. It's just starting it.
Got it. You're using prestidigitation to create the spark effectively, not recreate the effects of the light spell. Got it. I understand. You know, the torch has regular mundane fire on it. You're using prestidigitation to turn it on. I didn't know prestidigitation could create that amount of spark. I know it can light a candle, but it takes a lot more to light a torch than it takes to light a candle.
It can light a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
Awesome, possible.
Oh, it says that?
Or snuff. Yeah. Light or snuff.
Light or snuff a candle. Okay, so you got a torch, the light of a torch, and you carrying this flaming torch. You climb slowly down the ladder. The ladder takes you. It's a strange ladder. First of all, it's kind of like a ladder, a slanted ladder rather than a straight up ladder, where each step is out from the previous step rather than one rung above the rest. Such that if you had maybe a snake body, you could slither down it instead of just climbing down it. So you climb down this slanted ladder, staircase, whatever it is, 15 feet into a dark chamber beyond, and it's a small hallway that leads a short distance, about no more than 10, 20, about 25 feet one direction before ending at a section that is how do I describe this? Yeah, it's a hallway that comes to an end, and then there's like a box at the end of that hallway that is distinctly separate and different from the rest of the hall. Yeah, like if
like a box-sized room.
Yes, like if I'll draw it on the map as best I can. So you got this. You descended the steps. The hall goes to about here. Then there is a noticeable. Can you all hear me? I'm facing away from the mic. Sorry. It goes to about here. Then there's a noticeable crevice that goes all around the room. So it's not like it's a 1-inch hole in the ground, walls, and ceilings. And then it continues to a dead end here. That is a different type of stone. It's like a brownish sandstone, if you will, and ends in a box. There also is what looks like a lever jutting out. Can't see. A lever jutting out inside the box. I'm gonna move Ondar, you've advanced to about there. A lever inside the box, And a small contraption right here that is glowing blue. And there's this blue line along the wall that goes up, that goes along the wall to the ladder, and up the ladder into the ceiling, which would be, the floor of the room somewhere. As if something in this room is powering the illumination of that line to that thing. Furthermore, like I said, I described this box as a yellowish sandstone. This wall here is not yellowish sandstone. This other wall on the opposite side is the same stone that's on this side. So it's really just the floor, this wall, and the ceiling of this box that is yellowish sandstone. Did I give an apt description there?
Yeah.
It was a difficult thing to describe, and I was just trying to be as detailed as possible.
So it's just Ondo down there at this point? Who followed?
Someone followed him. I forget.
I would have followed Günther.
I would, yeah. Rin was trying to go down there as well.
Günther's at the chest.
Günther's at the
Oh,
And-
did you not go in?
No, Günther didn't go in.
And Adron's
Okay.
waiting at the top to go in last so that he can wait till Gunther's done something with the chests, just in case.
Just in case.
Rin just,
So
or
Rin
Odd
is
just
down
sort of
here.
stands at the top a little
Saladin,
bit.
you went down?
I'm gonna stop at the stairs. I won't block anybody from going in, but I want to
Okay,
kind
so
of
you're
keep an
still-
eye on both.
You're still
Yeah,
up on
Rin
the
is
steps.
just gonna jump down.
Odd. Sorry, Adron, you're no longer a donkey. Adron went down the stairs, you said?
No, I was waiting for Gunther, but if Saladin's gonna stay up with Gunther, she can keep him up as well, so I can.
Mm-hmm.
So you're down the steps as well.
Yeah.
Günther is by the chests. Saladin's up there, and Odd is up here. Cool. Günther, which chest are you going at first? And does anyone have any lockpicks?
I have one set of thieves' tools.
Okay, that includes in it, I believe, 10 lockpicks.
Oh.
Cool.
But
We-
they're not like permanent. Haven't you used them
No.
before? I believe you've used these once before. No?
I think I gave them to Zolkin last time we needed them.
Right.
Sorry,
so-
that is very. I didn't realize there were 10.
There are 10 lockpicks in a standard set of thieves' tools, if I'm not mistaken.
Do I just not have to screw up 10 times? Awesome.
Correct. Every time you fail with a lockpick, there's a chance it breaks. When you succeed, it doesn't hurt it. So, you gave some to Zolkin. Let's just say you gave him 3. I don't know.
Okay, sure. Sorry, this was back when I assumed there was only one lockpick, and I thought I handed it to him. So any that I have left over is bonus.
I'm just gonna double check that, but I believe that's how that there are 10 inside a set of thieves' tools. Thieves' tools, a set of lockpicks, and a set of lockpicks has 10.
Oh, awesome. But I still get the balaclava and the black gloves and the tactical turtleneck.
Yeah. Yeah, a set of lockpicks has 10 lockpicks in it. Every time you fail a check to unlock something, there is a 50% chance your lockpick breaks.
Okay.
Odd's gonna walk downstairs.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I will use every bit of knowledge I can to make sure that the thing that looks like the lock is the actual lock, and it's not one of those dumb things where
It
it's
is.
like there's arrows pointing to a bullseye, but the real locks are inside.
Mhm.
And then as soon as I'm sure of it, fuck it. Yeah, I will just I'll take a shot at the lock on the silver chest.
On the silver chest, okay. Sure thing. Make your lockpick check.
Sure. I am.
Are you proficient with lockpicks?
I am not proficient.
Okay. So you don't
So
get
it's-
your proficiency. It's just a dexterity check without proficiency.
D20 plus dex.
Correct.
Okay, that's not terrible. That is a 17 plus 3 is a dirty 20.
Okay. You managed to pick the lock successfully. You hear a click when you pick the lock. It clicks open. It is now unlocked. You hear a second click when you pick the lock, though.
Okay.
But otherwise, nothing.
I will retroactively check it for traps. No, fuck it. I didn't think of checking it for traps.
Well, you in theory know it's trapped. But
Yeah.
You don't know what the trap is beyond the lock was trapped.
I will do a quick prayer to Dendar, and I'll just pop it open.
Okay. You open up the chest, and a small crossbow-like mechanism built into the lid of the chest shoots out at you when you open it. It gets a 23, so it is gonna hit.
Okay.
You take 3 piercing damage.
Okay, that's not terrible.
And 4 poison damage, but you get to half that to 2.
I get to nothing it.
You get to nothing it? You're immune to poison?
Yeah, man.
Bullshit. Pardon my language. You're
Huge.
immune to poison?
Yeah, it's my whole thing.
Wow. Okay, it was better than I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
You're immune to poison. You're immune to poison condition as well?
Yep.
Cool.
You hear Adron shout up from the pit. Can you grab my immovable rod before you come down?
I will like thumbs up into behind me. Is there anything in here other than a poison bolt?
Yes, actually, there is a great deal of silver coins.
Cool.
A great deal of silver coins, and a dagger, a silvered dagger, with Yuan-ti markings on the hilt, and a contraption, a little button on the hilt, and a little what looks like a dispenser on the hilt of some type. You would recognize this weapon as a holy weapon of the Yuan-ti. It is a dagger of venom. It is a dagger that once per day can dispense poison along the dagger so that the attack has extra poison damage.
Okay, well that's certainly a thing. I'll take a minute to.
It is a magic weapon. It has has infinite venom. It just recharges every day because it is magic. And it also gives you a +1 to attack and damage rolls with it, and it does magic damage. So,
oh my god!
Once per day, it can do poison damage on top of the magic damage, but it's otherwise a +1 dagger. It's a +1 dagger that once per day can do it coats the blade in black poison.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely toss that into the bag, as well as many of the silver coins as I can rummage up and toss in.
Sure. Oh, hey, there's my DMG. I was looking everywhere for it.
You can
Right
do
in
that
front of
later.
me. Sure. How many silver coins are in that chest?
I'm probably not going to spend them tonight, so we can do that offline if you prefer.
That's true. I have it right in front of me though. So why don't you roll? Let's see. 3d6.
Nick, you look super honest. Can you roll 3d6 for me?
You can't trust yourself not to cheat on the roll.
10.
This chest contains 1,000 silver coins.
Shit!
Well then.
Hey guys, I think that's the first actual money that Günther has found since adventuring with these idiots.
That's not
I'm
true.
getting other stuff.
But, yeah. Yep.
Payday!
I will turn
Just
my
so you know,
attention-
that's 20 pounds worth of silver that you're putting into your bag of holding.
We're still good on holding bags, assuming that dagger wasn't like 100 pounds.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Normally you don't have to worry too much about the limits of a bag of holding, but I don't know how much stuff you've got in there. I imagine you're getting semi-close to the 500 limit at some point.
We're getting close enough where I'm gonna start dumping stuff soon.
Yeah.
Grappling hooks and climbers kits are starting to get tossed out soon. Sorry guys, I know I'm taking a lot of time. I'm gonna turn my attention to the bronze chest, but before I do that, if anybody else wants to jump in with anything, let me know.
Doesn't look like it.
I got some stuff that I want to do downstairs, but I want to know what happens.
No, the downstairs stuff is going to wait till he's done.
Okay, then yeah, go ahead.
If they want to do anything else upstairs, yeah, let me know. But otherwise, yeah. Günther, you want to attempt to unlock the next chest?
Yeah, let's take a look at the other one. Oh god. Another 17.
You unlock it.
30.
You hear a click. And
This
you hear a second click.
This time, can I like walk around to the back of it and like open it up away from me like a drug deal suitcase?
You sure can. Absolutely. You walk around
Meanwhile,
to the back
Adron
of
pops
it.
his head up. Is everything okay?
You walk around to the back of it like a drug deal suitcase, expecting it to shoot out. You nod to Celadine to make sure she stands out of the way of a potential crossbow bolt, and you open the chest. And when you do, a mechanism in the lid releases a poisonous gas, such that being behind it doesn't protect you. If it was the other way around, if you stood behind the one with the crossbow bolt, it would have protected you, but not from the poisonous gas. However, you're immune to the poisonous gas, so you just breathe it in and you're fine.
I'm gonna take 1 RP point of damage because that particular smell reminds me of some super shitty, painful memories from dumb history. And I'm for a time transported back to a room very similar to this, where a bunch of other boys and girls were getting preferential treatment over poor stupid Günther.
So it's psychic damage.
So it's sure. I will take a point of psychic damage as soon as I can find the button on.
It's horrible.
Got it. Yeah, no, he wasn't very well liked, Günther, growing up. He was kind of the runt of the litter.
Flash forward to episode 5 of How to Kill a Witch, where I die by exactly 1.
Yeah. So, inside this chest is a holy symbol. A holy symbol to Dendar, the Night Serpent. It is a black charcoal ring, in which the ring winds in on itself.
That's beautiful.
Ending at the center with a serpentine head with a jade eye on the serpent head. It can be hung from a necklace, though the necklace is not included, or it can be hung from anything else that a pendant can be affixed to. It is a magic holy symbol. Obviously, it can function as a holy symbol to anyone who worships Dendar, but it also does some other stuff, which you can find out if you attune to it.
Okay. this is probably the only dumb piece of my dumb childhood that I actually feel any affinity to.
I actually have a picture.
Aw,
It looks exactly like that.
Oh, nifty.
that's pretty.
And there's your dagger, actually.
Super. Then I will. You know what? I'll slip it into the Brett's pocket of my nerd shirt, and I will, for a second, wonder if when Celadine talks to her holy symbol stuff, if it feels anything like the equal parts of disdain and disbelief and childlike hopefulness that I feel when I look at this thing.
In addition to that, there's also a whole ton of what at first you think are copper coins, but they're merely coated in copper. They're actually electrum coins.
Cool.
Nice.
Hey Rebecca, do you feel like rolling for these ones?
Sure.
The electrum coins, you can roll. There's not as many of them. You can roll.
Several thousand.
It's not going to be 1,000, that's for sure. You can roll a 2d6 electrum coins.
2d6. Oh, a 6 and a 4.
Woo!
A 6 and a 4, so 10. I just said there aren't as many, but I guess there are also 1,000 electrum coins. Exactly. Electrum.
We're rich, that tells you.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Quite a bit. I mean, it's not as worth as much as gold, but it is. It's worth more than silver.
Yeah.
That's like 500 gold in value of electrum.
Cool.
Becca, blow it up.
But it weighs another 20 pounds. Another 20 pounds of coins. So
It's money.
going into the bag of holding, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're still good on capacity. We're at roughly 450 pounds of the 500.
Getting there.
Skirting that line.
Which, interestingly enough, tells you that this mummy here was probably a cleric of Dendar. The fact that he had a holy symbol, or a paladin of Dendar.
Yeah, it's why I was hitting that you should do what Dendar wants bullshit so heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of odd that he would become an undead if he was a cleric. It's further odd that he would not react to the words you said if he was a cleric in his right mind. But I guess maybe he wasn't.
Last chance for false bottoms and hollow lids and all that other garbage in chests.
Yeah, no. Yeah, everything that you could have found has been found. The traps that these they weren't unguarded. They might as well have felt unguarded to you because the traps were very little influence to you. But yeah.
Last thing, and then I promise I'll hand it over. Is the gold chest bolted to the ground or anything?
It's not.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get that.
It's not bolted to
It's
the
not.
ground.
It's not? Okay.
However,
Yeah.
keep in mind that if it is trapped with some sort of deadly trap,
It might
moving
be
it
okay.
around might set that off.
Okay.
Granted, Rin looked and did not find any signs of a trap, so
Right.
it could just be an empty decoy to throw people off. But it could
I'm
also-
filing it. I'm filing it away as a maybe we sell the witch on. Hey, here's the gold chest. Come down and open it. I'm not touching it because I know better, but I'm filing that away. I'm gonna walk over, undo the immovable rod, and I will join my friends.
Okay, I'm assuming Celadine as well.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
gonna put you up here, back here next to You guys are up here. There you go. You can tell me.
I
if you're
assume you
not
give me
happy.
back the rod when you get down.
I will hand you the rod, and I will
Appreciate
hand
it.
Odd the weird dagger, and just show her. Oh, it's got a little poison button on the bottom.
It is odd. For this is the second magic item he's given you. It is a dagger of venom. Unlike a lot of magic weapons, this one doesn't require attunement, so it can be used by anyone. Fun times. It's a +1 magic dagger, and like I said, once per day you can coat it in a black poison, which does fun things to enemies.
Thanks.
So am I pushing this little light thing, or what's going on?
The
here?
light is not a button or a lever of any kind. There is a lever inside the sandstone room, but the light is illuminated.
Maybe get your
Insights?
friend. Maybe
Sorry?
get your friend to pull that lever. Not us.
I'm thinking this is an elevator of some kind, a moving room. If he pulls the lever and it goes away, we can't get it back unless we go around. So
I don't think we can all fit in that little space. If that's
You
gonna-
can
that
if you're
platform's
you can if you're squeezing. So you can squeeze to take up about half the space of a 5-foot square. Squeezing gives you disadvantage on attack rolls and halves your movement, so it's not ideal, but you can all fit if you squeeze.
As long as there's a buffer between me and Ondar, because I'm not supposed to touch him.
Rin is actually going to take a step onto the platform.
Sure.
I was about to as well.
Let's simply test it first.
And we'll stay buddied up, because I'm not leaving you alone anymore either. Okay, I'll reach over and say, "Is this okay? We'll try it, and if it's what I think it is, we'll try and come right back."
No obvious OSHA symbols on the wall.
There are symbols. There are symbols that speak of Dendar and retell the legend of Dendar and what he is foretold to do, what he has done, what he is foretold to do. That's all that adorns this hallway.
Günther, are you familiar with this?
I will tap the thing in my shoulder and say, reasonably familiar.
Elevators? That's...
What was in the chest?
Gold, a knife, and the symbol. I think
And the
it's-
silver?
Sorry, and money, yes.
No, I'm referring to the chest as they were created. What was in the bronze chest?
Sorry, the bronze chest had a lot of monies that was camouflaged to look like not a lot of money. It also had as a symbol of Dendar, as Yuan-ti goddess. The other chest, the silver chest, had a lot of silver coins as well as the dagger that Odd is holding now.
And the gold.
I didn't open the gold. Honestly, the gold it's kind of a practical joke for my people. It's usually just a decoy. It's got an extra trap inside it, usually. It's like, surprise, you were greedy and now you got stabbed in the face.
A jack in the box.
Yeah, we can check it on the way out if people are very curious, but usually it's just a haha, got you kind of thing.
So there would be nothing that we would need to know about the chest for where we're going now.
Not usually. So Yuan-ti kind of look at gold as one of those. Do you guys have keychains where you're from? Where you dangle the sparkly keychains and it's like, look, it's a sparkly keychain, and you're fascinated by how dogs and cats are fascinated by it. this is kind of how we see gold. We don't usually really see the happiness in it. But it turns out that us, the people, really like it. So we dress up a lot of gold, and it's like, haha, we got you in space.
Understood.
I love your descriptions. We got you. It's like,
I nod to Rin.
If we do the lever.
Please be safe.
all
Pull
right.
the lever, Rin.
Wrong lever!
You pull it.
Wrong lever.
You pull the lever.
Why do we even have that lever?
Do you pull it up or down?
Oh, shit.
Mm.
Down.
Down.
He will
Pull
say
it.
protect each other.
You pull it down. You hear a big chunk inside the wall. The little sandstone room that you two are in shifts its weight suddenly, and then it starts to drop and drop and drop. And it has two walls and a ceiling, but the other two walls are open. Though not that they're open to anything, because as you are dropping, as you are dropping, it's just walls moving up, stone walls moving up in a shaft. So now you're completely encased in this room as you go down and down and down. What the others see, interestingly enough, aside from a long shaft that the sandstone room is descending in, is that, interestingly enough, I love this part. Interestingly enough, hang on, I need some paper towel.
While he's looking for
I
that, I'm
can
going to ask
show
you about the holy
you
symbol.
the world.
Shining, shimmering,
Interestingly
splendid.
enough, there is a hallway beyond the sandstone room. There's a hallway beyond the sandstone room that you could not see with the sandstone room in place. Here, this is the pit where it's going. There is a hallway beyond. A similar parallel hallway. It ends in a dead end with another slanted ladder going up, presumably to a trap door that is shut. This hallway is filled with darkness, though there is a similar looking light on the opposite side that is not lit, and a line that goes along to here and up to there that is not lit. And your friends keep descending in an elevator that is only powered to go one way right now. Whoops. And I think that is where we're going to call this episode of The Company of the Grey Wolf
Okay.
to a close.
Man.
Do you remember how this whole dungeon was mirrored? Kind of like there were two sections, and this led to one area, and then this led to presumably another area that you stopped exploring at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems that each side could power half of the elevator. At least that's what, the most likely assumptions to be made.
We got this.
Yeah, oh yeah, you guys are fine.
Figure this out.
Yeah.
The pit descends about 100 feet before it stops.
A lot of quality time for Rin and Andar.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
if Rin still has dreams of killing Ondar, he's now in the perfect position to do so. Though
Yeah,
Rin
lately,
and Andar.
lately Rin and
buddies
Ondar
forever.
have been.
That's ironic, man. Ugh.
Could I put it
Has he changed? Like, how much has he changed, really?
I don't know.
Ugh.
We're gonna find out
Now's
next
the
week. I
time to
guess.
find out.
So, this has been an episode of The Company of the Grey Wolf. My name again is Joshua Barbeau, struggling like everyone else through this COVID-19 outbreak. If you'd like to help support me, there's a couple ways you can do so. I have a Ko-fi account, which is discoverable if you go to my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, or better yet, if you want to support me by buying my products on DM's Guild, or hiring me through DM On Demand, or subscribing to me on Twitch, any of those help out a great deal. I am joined at the table by Zaid, who doesn't have social media, but you can interact with him socially through our Discord channel, which you should all join. Rebecca, who does have a Twitter, at Madam Peasant. You should all follow her if you're not doing so already. Anita, at Panita on Twitter. You should follow her as well. Justin, the fantastic, charismatic, and amazing Justin, at Noir Enigma. Follow him on Twitter because he's doing great things, and he's got a lot coming out in the near future. Nick, the most recent addition to the Twitter gang, at Neutral Bland. And then Colin, who also, like Zaid, does not have social media, but you can still interact with him and the rest of us on Discord. Hope you enjoyed this session. We have not many left before the end of this season, and it's ramping up to be an epic finale against this witch. So it's definitely not 3 easy steps. Who knows how many steps are left, but
several more
difficult
Yeah.
steps. But
39 steps.
we'll see you again through rain, sleet, hail, or COVID. We'll be back here providing you entertainment. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until next time, keep good company.
Keep
good
good
company.
company.
Keep good company.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
What about?